All right, welcome back, everybody. We're back on this cutlass, and the front end parts came. Let's see what we got in here. Got all kinds of goodies in here. Hang on a second, I'm gonna zoom in some. Okay, looks like we got sway bar link kit, sway bar bushing with bracket, 2 of them. We have these are probably the front of the lower controller arm for each side. Ball joint, upper and lower. Should have another of each of them. Tie rods, inners and outers. Our other ball joints. Okay, so that's the upper. They're all round, I believe, and then this is the lower. You have one, the rear of the lower is like an oval, and the front of it is a round one. So this is the whole kit, or this is both uppers. Here's both lowers, inner and outer tie rods, and our sleeves for the tie rods. Okay, I think that's everything. Yeah, I'm almost sure it is. All right. We're going to put all of his old stuff in that box. Let's get over here to the car and start tearing it apart and getting into this. See what all's... he's getting shocks too. They still ain't... I still ain't got them from him, so I don't know if he's picking them up locally or what, but we don't need them yet anyways. We're going to put front and rear shocks on it too, just to give it give it a better ride. Because I'm not sure. Let's look and see what's on the back. Let's get over here. I don't know if they're... I don't see no air shock, not unless it's in the trunk. Sometimes people put them in the trunk. I don't think they're air shocks. No, they're just regular. Okay, yeah, they're just regular ones. And then the front ones, but they look a little. This car, I mean, when I drive it, it's not only having an issue from whatever the guy did with these front end parts, but it just seems like it's got some stiff shocks on it. It should ride smoother. I don't know, but we're going to do that. So, all right, let me reset the camera here, and I'll bring you right back. All right, let's get this back wheel chocked. Get this front end up. I need to make me some more of these, just different sizes. These came with it, but I was just going to make some. I was going to make some that are both this size. You know what I mean, without having to put them together, just so there's more adaptability available for both the front and the rear. Because sometimes you get pulling these trucks, and I hate stacking them things. I'd rather have a solid one piece in there. And you know what I mean? Just a little more stable. Okay, let me think where I want to put this. So we're going to have to probably jack this frame up and set jack stands on it. Because we need this thing. We need this available, and we need nothing on the front end until we need it. Meaning, I'll use it to compress the lower controller arms for the springs not to bust out on us when we separate the ball joints. And so let's see here. Do I want these? Yeah, probably. Give us less travel with the jack. I need to put this actually where I can get my stands. That might be all right there. We'll get it up high enough so we can... Hang on one second. I'm gonna grab some stands, guys. Okay. So, what I need to do is get this thing. This is the hardest part about doing these on the lift, because getting this car even on here and being able to use jack stands is sometimes a task, because you want that to sit good. You don't want it slipping off this thing. I don't know. I don't know if I like that there or not. This frame's got a weird thing going on. It's going to pull my jack stand in. Let's try it here. Let's try it there on both sides. Yeah, and that way you can't do it either. I wonder if I can do it here. Like right inside that. I don't know. Sometimes the V of this is not what you want either. I have like a flat one. Well, let me see what this does. I think I got to go up a little higher anyways. Yeah, we're on that edge. Okay, driver's side I think is okay. Let's see how this comes down. Okay, that seems all right. Yeah, see, it sucked it in. We're off of it. Okay, you guys, I had a piece of plate. I don't know if you can see it over there. Anyways, yeah, you can't really see it from here. Here, I'll take you over there. Hold on. I'd rather show you just for safety reasons, but so I used a piece of 1/2-inch plate, and it sits way better than what the that V just was, because the jack was coming off of the lift right on that corner. The stand was. Let me get out of this some. So much better, and it's sturdy now. Okay, let's go ahead and let the car down where we can work on it. Let me get it down there real quick. I think these are wrong. Some of them have double washers and they still don't tighten up. Yeah, this one had 3. So need to probably tell him to get some better lugs. I think he's putting other wheels on it. I'm almost sure. I think he's going to get some, I don't know if he's getting a torque thrust or what, but well, look at that. That guy just smashed that cap all up too. Okay, let's, I guess we're just going to start attacking. Attack. We got to get this thing all the way stripped. All the way. All right, so I'm going to pull the tie rods, pitman arm, sway bar link, sway bar bushings, get all that stuff out of the way, and then we'll start stripping, take the ball joints off, get them out of the way, get the springs out, shocks out, controller arms. Then we can get our new bushings in there and start putting it all back together. So give me a second, let me get some tools out here. I want to go wash my hands and get some gloves on, because this is going to get real greasy here, and then I'll be back shortly. And I'm sitting here driving this thing around. I thought it felt a little floaty. That's actually terrible. You kind of got to do this when somebody else has done something, no matter even if the parts are new, because you don't know where's what. I mean, you can try to go around and just tighten things up, but in the end, if you miss something, or you know what I'm saying, you're safer to do it this way. Just pop it up, pop it all out. I'm gonna have to probably churn this thing. Which way? Well, let's try it both ways. Let's see. We'll see here. Hold on. I gotta go grab a step stool and try to turn our steering wheel a little bit to get that. It's got to get up into this area here so it can fall down some, so the rest of the joint will come out. Hang on a second. Okay, I turned it one way. Let's see if that'll come out of there. No, crap. I don't want to have to take that off. We may have to. I definitely don't want to take the pitman arm off. But I could probably take off the, yeah, let me do that. Let me grab I think it's a deep well. Can't really see in there good. Maybe 9/16 with an extension. Hang on a second. Okay, I got a 9/16 deep well on this side, which I didn't need a deep well, because this side is the nut over here. Then I got a ratcheting wrench on this side, 9/16. That'll help that, I guess. That's all right. We'll get a magnet. If I can't break that loose first. There we go. There it goes. So this is the idler arm. I'm just taking it away from the frame so we can drop it, so we can actually lift it up out of just like that. I don't even know what he had going on here. Ripped the boot or something. Yep. Okay. I need a magnet to get those. The rest of, actually, we can probably just leave them in there. At least that one. And I'll get right here. Yeah, I just need to get a magnet. Okay. So that freed us up there. We can pull it out there, and then it comes off, and there we go. There's all of them. Let me grab a magnet so I can pull that out, and then we'll get back over here. Guys, so I pulled them both out and just stuck them through the idler arm. So anyways, I always do this, it's just habit. I take the magnet and just swirl it around down in there and make sure there's nothing in there from over the years, you know what I mean? Well, check this out. This is our sway bar bushing and how it mounts up into there. There's supposed to be two nuts up here. Well, there's not. The washers was there, but the bolts are not even in there. And I wish I could get you guys a camera in there to show you, but trust me when I tell you, there is no bolt on this screw. It's jammed in there. It's like in a bind. There's no bolt. And I can't feel the other one. I need to get a light and look, but yeah, he never even put the nut on that. So this has a lot of, when the car's swaying, those bushings are working, they're there for a reason, you know. So if that's not tight, what do you think that's swaying around, pulling and doing? So that's probably doing this. And I'm actually surprised it didn't fall out of there. Not unless he has it somehow biting into the, you know, the outer bracket, the bushing bracket there. I don't know. We'll find out here in a minute, but let me try to get a light and see something. Okay, guys, after further review, I was getting ready to say, it's like a nutsert. It's like a nutsert in the frame. Because when I put my finger in, I couldn't feel a nut on. I was like, but I can't even feel the nutsert. It's so blended into it. So, once again, that's why I do the magnet thing. Who knows where this came out of? It could be a bumper support up here. You know, because there's holes on the other side where you can push that through the frame. But maybe that one fell and they put another one on. They didn't feel like fooling with it or didn't have a magnet, whatever. But so when those are all jingling around in there when you're driving and hitting a bump, you hear noises and you know, little washers rolling around inside. That'll drive you crazy. And then if they jump around and get past all that and get down in this bottom one here, you gotta keep going until it comes out of these bigger holes. So who knows how long that's gonna take, and the noise drives you crazy. So just take a magnet and check down in all your holes whenever you're working on that kind of stuff. Takes a second and then you'll stop another issue from happening. All right. Okay, I got the other sway bar nut off the other side, off the bushing. I knew that was gonna happen. I'll try to do all this without air. If I remember right, these inner ones, you can't get a socket on them. Oh, barely. Yeah, they're right up against the... I got stuff falling everywhere. I'm trying to put the camera where it's kind of trying to get everything seen, if you know what I mean. Well, that was a rhyme. Let's do this one first. We'll get you guys. Don't you worry. Better get that out of there now. They're about to fall everywhere. Let me get this one out. Okay. You know, it's crazy. For no longer than them been on. I guess that's probably normal. Yeah. Okay. Let's try to get this one off. I have to loosen it first with a wrench. Oh, get it on there. Oh, wrong way. I can't even see it. Ugh. If I can get it loose enough, we can pull back on this thing a little bit. Get the socket on it. There we go. Yeah, that kind of freaked me out when I thought there wasn't a nut on there. I was like, holy crap, this dude. So these are split. They just split around there and then you put this thing back on. These are not bad, really. I mean, he's got new ones. That is a little, I don't know. We're gonna put the new stuff on it regardless. Let me get this other one off so we ain't got stuff falling around everywhere. Like that. Yeah, there. Okay. All right. All right, I'm gonna go put these things in the box, pick up the ones that fell, and then we're gonna get them ball joints broke loose and get our, well, we gotta get the shocks out of there first. Let me get this stuff picked up and we'll spray the bolts, the shock bolts with some, my lube, my PB blaster. All right, give me a few. All right, let's take our top shock bolt off. I think it's a 9/16. What the hell? Oh, wow, guys. I'm running off with my, look at that. About to show you. Wow. Wowee. He must have been in a hurry that day. Wow. You know, and he told me this is a pretty reputable person. You really got to be careful if you're going to let people work on your car. Or, that's why I do this channel, guys. To get people inspired, however you want to look at it. Inspired, whatever, to do your own stuff. Because of this is a prime example of, I mean, you're cruising down the road and your front end's falling apart. What do you, I don't know. So, let's see here. I think this is supposed to have like welded nuts or what do you call those? They clip over the hole so it's threaded. He put bolts and nuts in here that's going to be so hard to get off because you can't even get a wrench in here. Oh boy. See, that just makes the next guy work harder. You know what I mean? I mean, much harder. This dude was a doozy, buddy. He's not from, I don't even know how he heard about this guy, but yeah, he's got, actually, what in the hell? It's a stud. So he somehow got a, wow. I'm going to show you when I get it out of here. But he somehow got a nut on a stud. I think it's like a lock nut. I think he somehow got that. And then the bottom, this guy, buddy. Woo-wee. Let's see if we can't get this. I think I have some of those clips. Yeah, he put like a, I gotta get this and show you guys. Okay, I guarantee you that's not factory. It's like a, well, it ain't an exhaust stud. He double nutted it, and he either, oh yeah, that's a lock nut. So he, yeah, the threads are a little boogered up where he grabbed them with something and tightened that one on there, and that was his bolt. He couldn't find a bolt, so he went through the trouble of making all that and doing all this. I think, I don't know. Woo! Okay, I guess. I gotta try to do the same thing on this side, and it's gonna be even worse. I can barely get, let me see. Oh, and that was the other way around. Did I lose it? Usually my lift, nope. Got some rocks in there. It's probably on the ground. Yep, there it is. Yeah, so I don't know what these are, you guys. This is the new era of mechanics. Good mechanic. That's a good mechanic there. Right there, buddy. He is the shiznit. All right, yeah, look at that. Are these like 9010s or something? So like when you take off, no, they're just wore out, guys. That's all. They're just wore out. That was one of the biggest riding problems in the front. I felt it. It was like a tank. This is a big problem here. Yeah. I'm going to keep these on here so he can see. Well, he's going to watch the video anyways, but I want him to see what that guy was doing. So that way he can refer some people to him. Yeah, right. All right. I'm going to pop the other shock off. We're going to get our jack positioned. Get the ball joint bolts off. Get a little tension off of it. We'll hit it with the forks. You're going to see me do it. I'm just telling you pre-hand. Let me get that one off. I'm not going to show you all that. All right, you guys. I went and got a wrench, and I was just trying the sizes. I started turning that bottom one. As soon as I touched it, it was barely tight. But when I did start to loosen it just a hair, the joint's already going through the spindle. So it's not even tightened up into it enough, if you get what I'm saying. The top one didn't do it. It still needs broke loose, but I don't know. So that's just, I mean, we don't know what it's doing going down the road. You know what I mean? What a crazy, ow, 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 ow. I almost got my finger cut. What a crazy thing. So I'm gonna try to get these out as much to the here as I can without getting in our way of the bar. Yeah, we just want some, and that one's off of that, isn't it? Nope. All right, let's try that. It'll stop anyways once we keep, once all the pressure goes on it. Yeah, guys, it's just coming out of there. I'm waiting for it to stop against that jack. It's going into that pad, I think. Wow. Either that. No, I hear it. Let me put a little more pressure on it, guys. Evidently, that's not enough. And I'm starting to lift the car. I'm just wondering. I hope that thing don't go flying up. Well, it shouldn't. The pressure's down here. Why is it still not? I feel like something's going to happen here. Not unless he's got that thing cross-threaded. No, it seems like it's coming out of there. I don't know what to expect here, guys. I can hear it. It's like tension. Like tension. Why is that not? Well, let's give it some more. I mean, how far can it go? You know what I mean? Guys, I'm not knowing why it's not doing that yet. What I mean is, I still have a bunch of pressure on that ball joint. Like it's getting ready to pop out. Like the spring or something. That's scaring the crap out of me. Let me tighten this one up. a little bit. And let's separate this top one. That should be enough for it. Let me, let's try this. What's the worst that could happen, right? Yeah, right. I need to get my safety glasses. I'm dumb, actually. Let's see. Yeah, there's some pressure on that, guys. Why, I don't know. We're on it with the thing. I have no idea. Take this down some more. Yeah, we are under some serious pressure. Is it getting better? Man, I don't know what to think, guys. That's loose. We already know our bottom one is. We don't even need it. I just can't see why this is not holding it where it needs to stay up. It's acting like it's going to just push that thing down. I know it can't, I think. I don't know why it's doing that. I really don't. I mean, we got some serious... I had a better spring compressor. I said it in one of my videos there. I let somebody borrow it and I don't got it. So all I have is these ones with the threads on them. You're never going to get that in there. I need like a fork type that goes in there and goes like that. Them things have probably got some serious tension on them, but you would think by now it's still doing it. Like, I still have some thread there, but I don't even know if yeah, I think that control arm's all the way against the frame. What do I want to do here? I need to try to find something for the spring. That would be the safest thing. Right now we're okay. It ain't going nowhere with that jack being there and the stands being where they're at. It ain't gonna go no further than that. Actually, I wish I could put this on the next click of this jack. And then, well, I think I just helped it by doing that. Wow, you guys, this thing is still just coming down like, no, okay, now we're okay. This must be pulling from that because this one seems better now. Let's see. Yeah, it's still coming down. I think it's going down on that ball joint. Let me put some more on it. You want more? We'll give you more. I'm literally lifting. That one's completely loose. So we must be under on this top one here. There we go. We just had to really get it. It's still gonna probably pop off. Okay, before I take that off all the way, I'm gonna try to find, and that one's okay now. I'm gonna try to find something to compress that spring a little bit with, just so we're not under serious danger. Because it should be okay. I mean, normally you get this out of the way, start letting the jack down. As soon as those jack stands catch the, all the weight on the frame, those will start to open, and then you can pop them out of there. But who knows with these coils, what kind of pressure they're under. I don't know. I don't know if the car sat good. It didn't seem like it was sitting up high in the front. So, I mean, I don't know. Like maybe somebody stuck big block springs in it. I don't think so. I really don't. I really don't. Do I just do it? I don't know. I don't know. And I don't know. And we're down to almost to the end of that where it's going to come off. Let me see. Let me see what I can do. I'll be back shortly. All right, guys. I went to Harbor Freight, and they pretty much got the same things I got right now. They did have that the one I was telling you about that I lost or gave to somebody, but it's going to be too wide to get in there. I'm putting this little wire in here, guys, to hang my caliber off of the frame. That way, once we take it off here, so what I done was, when I got back home, I just raised it up a little bit more than what we've been going. There we go. And now look, I can take it off my finger. So, those are all ready. I'm going to try to do one side at a time, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to do both and let them both down at the same time because the jack's going to kind of do a weird thing if the spring comes out of one side, not the other. So let me just put these on here for safety, and I'll break the other two loose and get them off, completely off like these, and then we'll let the jack down easily. So give me a second. I'm going to go break those loose. This one really don't matter because it's sitting on top of it and it's already broke loose. All right, give me a few. I'm kind of surprised. Holy crap. Did I get it? Can't tell if it's off. Yeah, I think so. This one will probably pop off too. This is so weird. Man, come on. There it goes. I don't know where that one went. Okay, now we can start to slowly let down. Back on the frame. Well, them sound so crazy. Let me get a better camera angle here. Oh, there goes that one. There goes that one. Let me hang this one. Oh man, I think we got back down on there again. Okay. Well, let's leave it there for a second. We'll get them off after. Here's that bolt or nut. See, this is what I was talking about. If I would have took the one side off, well, I'm glad man, that's all the way off. Whew. I can probably pry them out of there. They're not super tight. Oh, that's off. I'm gonna try to get this in the wire. Get on there. I just don't want that wire stretching. I mean the brake hose like it already is. All right. We'll go that way. Okay, there we go. All right. I think we're all the way down. Well, we definitely are now. Yeah, they're just right there. Those bushings sound like crap, man. That's all the way. Let's try to get this out of the way. That way we can come down all the way. Sorry, guys. I want you guys to see that. Let's try to focus on one of them. I can't believe that one is still on there. That's about out. I could probably just air gun that and it'll come out here in a second. Let me pop the other one out. Man, those sound horrible. Listen to that. Holy crap, dude. That sounds like, you know what. Okay. I need to grab some tools to pop these bolts out so we can get our controller arms out. We'll just do our ball joints, bushings, and everything while it's off the car. Same with the top one. It don't sound as bad, but oh yes it does. Wow. And them bushings are supposed to be ones that are smoother and quiet. I think he said he heated on them or something. I don't know. Once again, guys, gee, my knee. I really can't believe that. That's a little looser. Ain't as bad. Okay, I'm gonna grab some tools and we'll pop these lower bolts off and get these things out of here. I'm gonna keep these bolts just with those, even though we're not reusing them. I'll probably take them off and throw them in the bolt bin. I don't even know why I'm doing that. That's what I'm gonna do because we got new ones. All right, be right back. Okay, I got the other ones out. Let's get these out. Hang on, guys. I'm gonna let that compressor cutter off. Okay, I don't think there's any. No, there's no kind of shims in this thing. Well, that front end couldn't have been right. I think he said someone aligned it. This is what I'm telling you guys. So once I show you what I'm going to show you, you'll always do it. You could do your buddy stuff and tell them, bring it over here, I'll do a better job than them. And then soon enough they'll believe you when they see you do it. It's hard to believe a piece of string and some tape measures, just a little bit of your time, will give you a lot better job than that machine will. I took my wife had a Chevy Sonic, and we took it up to the tire discounters, and everybody that I talked to said that was one of the best front end alignment techs, and that he was like the bee's knees. You want him to do it. So anyways, we did that, and when I first got it out of there, it was the steering wheel was turned to the left. It wasn't straight, and it pulled. He said, "Oh, bull crap, no way. We just had that calibrated." So we argued for a while. The manager in the front, it was so bad, he acted like he wanted to fight me. I was like, "Man, that's some pretty good customer service, dude." The more I said, the madder he got, is what it was. They just didn't want to be wrong, you know what I mean? Anyways, make a long story short, they did it 3 times, and finally I told her, I said, "Let's just go." I didn't want no money back or nothing. I never said nothing to nobody about it or anything, like to give them a bad name until now in this video. And you don't even know which tire discounters it is. I don't know, maybe I did say it. Anyways, so I got it back home and I did my thing to it, and that car never drove so good. Even from the factory, it had a little weird, like when it rained out, it felt like you was getting ready to skate across the ice. You know what I mean? Because that's due to your alignment being off. And it had good tires on it. It just would skate. I mean, it felt like you was on ice. It was scary. So especially on a front wheel drive, guys, on a front wheel drive, you got to set your toe correctly, or else when you gas on it, it'll pull to the right. Like when you gun it, it'll go whoop, you know. So when you set that with that string, like I'm going to show you guys, and set the correct, and you can look up, like on a front wheel drive, how much toe to put in the car. On a rear wheel drive, you know, on a four wheel drive, and it'll tell you where to put it at to start. And usually where they tell you, that's all I do. It's usually about a quarter, about right around a quarter. And what that means is you don't put a quarter on each wheel, you'll split it. So you'll do an eighth over here and an eighth over there. That's what that means. Just like when we turn on the lathe and it says we got to take off a ½ inch, well, you split the difference and only take off a quarter, because you're really taking off the whole diameter of it. That's your whole. If not, you're going to take off twice the amount. We got these off. Hang on a second. Well, you guys was looking at a bumper because I raised the car up. Sorry about that. Well, at least we talked for a minute. Okay, so we got all these off. The next step's going to be putting in all the new bushings in the ball joints. And I'm going to tell them about that drag link. It doesn't feel bad, but that don't mean nothing. For now, it could be that it may be good for another 5 years. I don't know, much as he drives it, but I'm saying we could put it together, set the alignment, and he hit a couple potholes, and really one of them joints was a little getting ready to be wore out. Now all of a sudden you got a sloppy, you know, drag link, and it throws your toe off. Now you're back to square one with taking it all back apart, not all of it, but all your tie rods and stuff. Put a new drag link, realign it, you know. So he made us, but those are pricey. I think those drag links are like anywhere from $100 and up, maybe a couple $100. They're not cheap, especially for these older cars. Not a lot of people have them. All right, I'll bring you guys back when we're probably going to be doing these on the press over there, I'd say. I don't know how he did them, the other guy, but we'll press those out and press some new ones in it. And I think this lower ball joint's pressed in too. I believe so. Yeah, it's a press in. Okay. All right, I'll meet you guys back over there. All right, guys, I'm over in the other shop. I just made a few tools to press these bushings out. I don't know how this dude how he is even a mechanic, even as somebody that calls himself a mechanic, but he had this. That thing was smashed in all the way flat. So I had to heat that, reform it, just to get the ball joint out. I didn't catch it because we always had it the other way. Look at these things. Look at the bends on those. That is terrible. I hope you guys can see. The camera looks like it's over that way some. Oh yeah, you guys can see. Yeah, look at this stuff, man. I'm gonna have to straighten those out, clean them up. I mean, it looks like they're all just, he ground and gouged and did whatever. I don't know what he done on here, but he tried to paint it to cover up his, you know, both sides. Both sides. Yeah, so I'm going to heat them, try to straighten them back out, like I did that ball joint part. And the other one looks okay. Yeah, what I was trying to do was just, I made this. I just made that real quick, and it fits in my tool. Fits right in there. That way I can press the oval ones out. And then I didn't want to, I mean, that took me a couple hours to make that. You know what I mean? Just I had to find I found a piece of stainless steel, strong stuff. And then I ovaled it out, made a couple little different ends, one to fit in there, one to weld the top of that. You seen how it looked. And then this thing, I can just use round stuff on that bushing. We're okay on that. I don't have to make anything. So the makings should be done. Yeah, when I first started pressing it, I started with something else. I can't remember what I used, but it started pushing the bushing out, which don't matter. They're the old ones anyways. But all right, I'm gonna get set up here, and I'll show you guys a little bit of this. I'm gonna put this in the vise. I gotta figure out how to get it to fit in there right. I need to get some gloves back on, and then we'll heat it and try to straighten this thing out. And I don't know. I'll be right back. You guys, don't ask me what I'm doing. I keep on clicking stuff here. I think it's recording and it's not. So what I've done was I just did all this on camera, but it wasn't there when I looked. I heated all that up. It was smashed in like this one, but we still have one more area back here. And I'm going to take my little jaws of life thingies, and we're going to put them right in here and try to pump that out in there, and maybe get a hammer and tap down on it. Let me get a hammer real quick. Hopefully I don't mess this video up again. I don't know what it's doing. It's like real slow. Hold on. I think we're on. I got the fan on because it is so hot, and this is even worse. Man, has he got this thing so boogered up. I hope I can get it. I hate to have to make him bite lower controller arms because of it. Freaking idiots, man, I swear. Oh yeah, I got the tools, man. Bring it over here. I can do it. You're leaving your car's wobbling down the road like the Flintstones ride. Square tires. It feels like you got square tires on. Nah, that's the way it's supposed to run, man. You just ain't never had it right. That's the right way right there. I might have to move that fan. Maybe not. I need it in that bottom part. Ooh. Well, let's open it up, and then we'll pound this part back down. There we go. I think it went. Okay, now let me get this in here. You gotta kind of do 100 things at once while it's still hot. And not go too much, like I think I just did. Let's see if this will do it without heat. I need to go right in here. Yep, we got it. It's just so soft, the metal, man. That might do that down there without heat. As easy as that thing went. Let's see. Maybe it did something. Yeah, it's taking it. Yeah, about got it. Yeah, that one's good. I think so. Gotta go up a little bit right here. Got like a little, I need to get like a piece of solid steel there and tap that up. Same thing here. I need to get some kind of a steel in here and tap that straight. But I think we're okay. Let me grab I'll grab the old one just to see the length of them. Yeah, we'll be good. This has, I gotta put a piece of steel in here and tap this down too a little bit, like underneath it. All right, let me go find something. Hang on. I think we got that one pretty good. I already did this one some too. That one's good. This one's pretty good too, actually. All right, I'm gonna let you look at these. You guys tell me. Like I said before, when I thought I was recording a minute ago, if we need to smash it more, we can after the bushings in it. But I think we got it. Let me get you guys over here, and then we'll just clean them up. There's that one. Try to get it to focus. There's that one. That's pretty good. And there's that one. Looks a hell of a lot better than it did. That thing was a mess, you guys, a mess. I think we got them. Okay, let me well, that thing's got to cool off for a second. Yeah, this thing's tripping. Out of focus, in focus. I don't know what's going on with it today. Probably too hot. I'm gonna let that cool off up there, and then I'll bring you guys back and we'll start pressing all these back in. Give me a few. All right, guys, I got this back one in. I'm going to show you how I did it. Take out your rubber bushings on these neoprene ones. It's a lot easier. This was all really in a weird little bind, so I had to press it in there. I'll show you on this one too. It's the same thing. And then I kind of twist things around, tap it around toward all, sandwiched it straight again. And we'll go around and I'll show you it up close. So, because basically, let me show you from this side. You can kind of see it now. It's going in. If I go like this, it's not even lined up with that bottom hole. That right there is actually lined up with the bottom hole. Yeah. So what we'll do is, same thing I did over there. We'll get it started. And guys, you could rent these tools from like AutoZone, or if you don't have one, ball joint, bushing, press kit. Okay, so I'm gonna put a little pressure on it. A little bit of pressure on it. Take and I'm just gonna tap. I'm not trying to dent or mess that thing up at all. I'm just tapping until it goes towards the hole. A little bit more. Yeah, see it loosened up as soon as it happened. Let me get that straightened out now. Now it's gonna want to go in funny. It's all right. We'll put it in how it wants to go in. You got to mess with it. Same thing I did with the other one. You just got to keep messing with it when they're bent like this, because then once you get them in, once it gets going, like it's starting to right now, we'll keep it sandwiched, and then we'll straighten out the walls. Same thing I did down there. You got to catch it in a good spot though. I think that just moved it there. It's kind of hard because you're going in a bind and there's nothing to hold it straight. It keeps wanting to walk on you. Sorry guys, the phone rang again. I went ahead and tightened it up some more while I was on the phone, but it's all the way tight now. So now what we'll do is we're going to take, where's it at? Oh, I took this hammer and kind of had it like that, just to straighten the walls up a little bit. I can get a good shot on it. Man, I was hitting the other one perfect. Let's do it this way. It's going. God bless that mechanic. Okay. Let's take it off and check the bottom one. Yeah, it's already loosened. It started to go in. I think we're good. This one needs tapped a little bit. Okay, I think it's a good test run as far as we'll try to fit it in the car. I'm only eyeballing here. No, I think we're flush there. Yep. Put your bushing back in it. Make sure it's like even in there. Okay. All right, let me show you these up close. Boy, for being boogered up, I'll tell you, they turned out not bad. Here's the one. I'm gonna grind and clean this up like I did the bottom one. I'll show you here in a second. But it's hard to give you the angle, guys, but it's in there. The main thing is you want, well, focus, guys, focus. Now it ain't focusing. The main thing is you want it through everywhere, okay? Let's go out some. Maybe that'll help it. There we go. Main thing is you want it flat there, coming through there, just like it is down here. There's that one. I mean, go back in the video and look how bad it was before we started. And here's what we got. At least I don't have to tell him to go buy a new controller arm, guys. You know what I mean? I would have hated to tell him that. He's already upset over all this. I mean, he just put all this stuff in there. Now he's doing it again. Because whoever he is did what he did. Highly reputable guy, too. Isn't that crazy? To me, it is. I mean, people recommend this guy. There's the focus. People recommend this guy, man. You know what I'm saying? Here's what I'm going to hit this with real quick, guys. And once again, I'm by far anybody that's the best, but I know better. Don't do it if you don't know. Say, no, I can't do it. Take it down to him. He does them good down there, you know? Why? Why ruin someone's stuff? I'm just trying to get all the, like the burrs out of it. All his gouges. Well, we probably put a couple in them trying to bend that around just to make it look good again. This way, and the next guy gets underneath there and looks at it, and he sees this, and he goes, oh, there's a bunch of new stuff underneath there. And he looks at it and it looks good. He could say, well, that dude did a pretty decent job. Not, holy crap, what the hell did he? And you can't figure out what he's done because of all the, everything bad. All right, okay, let me pop this out. I don't know if I'll probably just go ahead and do the ball joint in here too, guys. I'm gonna flip it back around the other way and I'll show you that too. I'll get it all ready. I gotta get the tools ready first. But there's that. I think we're looking really good, guys. Seriously, for as bad as it was, not bad at all. Okay, let me try to get this in a decent bind here. Just so I can press that in there. I ain't trying to smash it and mess it up any. That paint's coming off. Okay, let me get the tools ready. I'll be right back. All right, you guys, I got that set on there. I got a sleeve on this side so the joint part can go up in there. Flat one here. I'm gonna try to tap this down with the impact on this one. Just easy. I think need a longer one. Yep. That's the only thing that sucks about this tool. When it comes apart, it comes apart. All right, let me go grab a longer sleeve. Hang on. Okay, let's try it again. We're almost there. I mean, we're right there. You can hear it snapping in. Let me stay on there. Now the phone's ringing. That's in. The bushings are in. I need to clean some of these tools up. Let me take you guys around and show you all this. Everything's in there flat and nice. I'm not going to suffer you of watching the other one, guys. Oh, actually, I have one more of these, and then I'll show you one of the uppers too. So there's all this. It's all in there good. Nice and flush all the way around. Show you the back side here. It's all flush in there. These are all good. You've seen those. All right. 1 down, 3 to go. Well, 1 more of these and 2 more uppers. So let me do the other lower and 1 of the uppers, and then I'll bring you guys back. It's actually late today, so I'm gonna be done for the day. It's hot, and I'm aggravated from all these, what you guys seen this guy did to this thing. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, guys, I got the other lower finished and the 1 of the uppers. Now I'm kind of just winging it on this upper and just using whatever I can, the vise, the this, the that, to get it done and get it done right where it's not all boogered up like that. I don't know what he melted them. I mean, look at that. They're melting. Oh, wow. Look at this one. Look at that one. Also, on he had the threads all boogered up on the center shaft here. On the other one, I had to find actually, I didn't have a die, so I had to use a thread file and clean them one at a time to get them all back in order. Luckily, there was only about a 1/4 inch of a section where I don't know if he hit it with a hammer or what he done with it, but anyways, let's proceed with this. First thing I'm gonna do is take this ball joint out of here, get it out of our way. Yeah, this thing's been like one thing after another. Just when you think you've seen it all, there's more. You know what I mean? It's like never ending. Like, man, dude, you know, I don't know. I mean, we all mess up and do, you know, I get that, but everything? Seriously, I mean, that means you're either just sloppy and don't care. I mean, because you got to know something to do this, you know what I mean? Even, like I say, this channel is for like DIYers and stuff, so that means if you haven't done it before, now you're going to learn how to do it. Just be careful. You know, watch this video, watch another video, whatever, and have some kind of common sense where, you know, when you're putting on a bolt, you know, let's start it and make sure it goes on good, you know, things like that, you know, instead of just continuously just, man, I mean, I can go on and on about this guy, whoever he is. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I'm just bitching. Okay, let's get these out of the way. I hope these ain't messed up, because you're not going to know. And so what it was, I think the other washer didn't go on smooth like this. So he just, instead of cleaning it out to make it go on smoother, common sense, it was in a bind, and I guess he took that and tightened it, and it just kind of went, and you know, scooted across the threads. What do you think's going to happen? Seriously, what do you think's going to happen? It's going to just go on and be good for you? Yeah, these look okay. Maybe he learned from his other mistake side. Yeah, see, these are okay. Yeah, I don't think this guy don't know what he's doing. He just either sloppy, doesn't really care. He wanted it out of there, whatever it was, you know, I don't know. And if you are going to beat on something like that, put your nut on there, get you a brass hammer, you know, something that's not going to mess it up. Put it down on there where you're just there. Get you a brass hammer. Now we can tap on that to get these. Let me go grab that. I put it in the other room. Hang on a second. I'm so sorry, you guys. I don't know what's going on with. I back and looked at the thing to stop it, and the screen was blank. Nothing was going on. I think something's going on with that phone. I'm working on getting my GoPros back together with a different gimbal and stuff. So hopefully here after today, all that crap will be solved. But what I done was I put the nut on the other side here, and I used a brass hammer so it wouldn't burr it up, and I knocked that until the bushing and everything came out of this side. And then I put the nut on this side now, and I can't do this side yet because he has all this melted. So give me a second, I'm gonna sand and cut some of this off to where it'll come out, and I'll bring you guys right back. Okay, I don't have to do that side. Let's try it. I had the other one in a vise, but I want you guys to be able to see this. Okay, there's that. Now, we need to get this crap out of here. Man, dude. I hope this guy sees this video one day and says, hey, I did that, car. And so he can see. My guy, please, slow down. Okay, let's, you know what? Let me go ahead and try to this side out. Oh, that's right, we tightened. Now you don't want to come out of there. Try to get this in here. Really don't need to tighten it with that. Okay. Now what I want to do here is there's a edge on this arm. I'm going to try to put it against that bushing, and I'm going to hit on it to try to get that to come out some. And you want to do solid hits. You don't want to do like that way. It's like a, you know, it's better that way. Trust me. Just do solid hits like boom, boom, boom. It's starting. Yep. Okay. As long as you got a brass hammer and, you know, all that stuff, you're good to go on this. Trust me, it ain't gonna hurt nothing. What did I use? I can't remember what I used on that. Actually, I think I had to get this one out of here to get this to slip down in there further, because it's stopping it on us. All right, guys, I just took this wrench and put it in between it. Now let's hit it. There it goes. Okay, so we got our bottom one out. Dude, I'm saying just kind of use your head and think about what you're doing there. I'm just making things up as we go here. You know what I mean? It's been so long since I put bushings like this in, but I'm going to do it with caution and things that are kind of common sense, you know, where I'm not going to screw it up. That comes right back off. Nothing's wrong. Okay. Now, we need to get that. Actually, I can get that out of the way. I need to get this thing out of here. I don't know if I can just tap on it with my bigger hammer there. I'd like to get this bushing, get that out of there. Yeah, he's got it so melted and messed up that I can't get a good hit on it. So I kind of got to fold it in on itself. I got it's not strong anywhere where I can tap on it. I might not need to get that out of there. Let me do this. Hang on. Where'd my, I had a little adapter. Did it fall down? No. Maybe we can use this one. That might work for us. Let's see if I can't get a good hit on that. Knock that out. Okay, good. Now what we're going to do is, let me finish taking these out of here, and I'll show you how we put these back in. I'll just show you real quick so we don't make this, because the alignment part's going to take a little bit, guys. It's going to take up some of the video. It's just 4 nuts and bolts. I can't get the washer. Okay, flats or joint goes down, obviously, and all your bolts through. Nuts go on the bottom. I think I've seen people do it the other way. I'm not sure if it's going to hurt anything. I've always put them bolts down, nuts on the inside. Like I said, I don't know if that matters or not, but it just looks cleaner when you're looking at it on top. You don't have 4 little nuts up there. You get what I'm saying? I can't see. I don't have my other lights on here. I'm trying to keep lights off I don't use just to save on the electric bill a little bit. That stuff is not cheap, especially when you're doing all this stuff for content. I mean, I am going to make a little money on this car, but that's besides the point. There's a lot of stuff I do in both of these shops that are no money. It's strictly out of my pocket, and when you don't have it, that's even worse. Okay, so I just got my little electric 1/4-inch drive here. I'll run it down until it stops, and then I'll do the same with the others, so it makes it kind of like even before I go tightening everything. So I don't know if something here is in a bind, or you just don't know, so just try to run it down evenly. Okay, so now I'll do it by feel. I always move around from corner to corner, kind of try to keep evening it out. One more time, in case you miss one. One more. Okay, put our grease fitting in, tighten it up so we don't forget later. I always tighten these up as I put them in, guys, so I don't forget, because then you'll put them in with your finger and you didn't tighten it. All right, other than me snugging this up back to where it goes, we're finished. So I'll bring you guys back when we're at the car putting this thing back together. All right, guys, we're gonna get this show on the road. Let me get some stuff in order here. We're gonna get our controller arms in first. I believe these are my lowers. Okay, usually if you put these in at I hope you guys can see, like a little bit of I'm trying to get it to where it's, oh God, he's got this bent too. Hang on, guys, let me grab a big crescent wrench. I've never seen so many issues from one person. He's the only one that's touched it, because he ain't done nothing to the car. Yeah, he's got this boogered up. Jesus. Oh well, I don't get it. Let me try to get that one somewhat in there. If I can get the back one started. I might need let me grab it. Well, we can probably use the bolt. Nah, I'm gonna need a screwdriver. That's probably too long. Or is it? I thought it went the other way. Okay, what we got going on here? It's gotta go up. Let's see if I can't. No, I can't get nowhere. I should have left this thing. See if I can't pry up on it this way. Yeah, there we go. Now, get this one in. Should be it. Okay. All right, so that's how I'm gonna do that one. The top one, I'm just gonna show you guys real quick, and I'm gonna throw these on, or tighten these up and bring you guys back, and we'll start putting the rest of it on. Okay, so we got wheel side on this thing towards us. Get that behind it. All right, I'm gonna need to turn this thing down. I hope I have some shims for this. I can't remember if I have any over there or not. I wish I had them now, because we could put them in with this, you know what I mean? This one's gonna be a little bit harder to get to. Steering shaft's right here in the way. Oh, it wasn't that bad. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get these tightened up, the top and the bottom ones, on both sides. I'm gonna put them both on, and then I'll come back and we'll start putting the drag. We got a new drag link. I think I showed you guys that. And we'll get the drag link in, center link, drag link, and then we'll proceed to get the rest of this put together. All right, couple things, guys. So I made this little contraption here. It's got a welded spacer there with a movable one there. So what happens is And I couldn't show you this because none of the cameras was working this morning, and I had to get this thing together. But I ordered batteries yesterday, and they were supposed to be here this morning in between 10 and whatever it is with Amazon. They still ain't here. So anyways, I had this 1/2-inch plate. I made these little things here. This one's got threads in it, as you can see. I TIG welded a nut in there, and it just got to go through at that point there. So if it's in the car, what you'll do is, let me just try to get in here and show you. And these are pretty cool. You can make these with not much effort at all. I think I started on them yesterday around 1 or 2. Got them done this morning around, I worked on them a couple hours yesterday and then a couple hours this morning. But anyways, so the top threaded one will go in with the thread up. If you're doing this before you take the coil off, so you'll want to fish it in there. You'll fish it in there. I got pressure on them right now with that jack, so they need to come down to open the spring a little bit. But you'll slide one in there. You'll slide one in the bottom. This is with the shock out. This will go up through where the shock is. It'll go through the first one, and then you'll screw into the top one, and then you get the point. When you tighten that up, this will compress the spring, and all you need is about 1 inch or 2 just to get it out of there. So then once you drop or take your ball joints off and separate your arms and move your spindle and stuff out of the way, you can maneuver the spring out, lay it down on your bench or whatever, and take this thing back off. But it worked great. Like I said, sorry I couldn't show you, but I figured I'd explain it to you and show you what I've done. So what we'll do now, I'm preparing the center link. Let me get all that stuff on this table over here, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I was wondering how much that one is. Yeah, I figured it was $91.69 with tax. 85 bucks ain't bad. I bought these things and they've been $200. Just a matter of what they want to charge. But I'd imagine this thing fits other vehicles too. It almost has to. Just like everything else that's made today. Then and now, whatever. Okay, so these sleeves, the way they work, you got one right-handed thread and one left-handed thread tie rod. So when you screw that one way or the other, it's going to either bring both of them in or out. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll get this in the vehicle first. They didn't give us no zert ends, not unless I overlooked something or it's in that bag. Yeah, they're in there. I was getting ready to say, dang man, grease fittings, zerts, whatever you want to call them. Yeah, that Amazon thing says it's 4 stops away, or it said 5 stops away, and I think it's probably now. But anyways, this camera I'm using now, it'll probably die soon. So we'll use it till we can't, and then by the time she gets here, I can cut the other ones back on. And then we should be good. We shouldn't have any issues. Okay, I started all these by hand. I'm going to go through and tighten all of them, even the ones on the tie rods. We got all of our keys or our pins right here. Let me tighten them up. I'll bring you back at the car. We'll get our center link in on our pitman arm first. Remember, we took our idler arm off. It was a lot easier to do it that way. Plus, I wanted to check it and make sure. I've got all that was grease from the last time. I didn't grease those yet. I got all those tight, the grease fittings, every one of the ones on the ball joints. That one is missing somewhere. I gotta find one. Not unless, oh, there's my cotter key. So it must be down there somewhere. I gotta look for it. Either that or it fell down in my pocket on my lift here that catches everything. Sockets, tools, it don't matter, dirt. It's somewhere here, but we'll find it, get that in, because after we get it back together, we'll grease it all up. I'm going to get this back on the jack stands since I got all that tight now. Plus, I wanted to see if I gotta get this lift cleaned up. This is what salt off the road does, guys. It just peels and makes this start to rust. But these was so bright at one time, and they was nice and stuck on there nice, but the rust just made them all fall off. And I'm going to peel them off, clean it all up nice, throw probably just some paint. There's no way I'm going to powder coat this stuff. Probably just get some good, brush it, clean it real good with some thinner or mineral spirits, and then we'll shoot some paint on it just to protect it again. It's a nice lift. All right, enough about the lift. Let me grab this. Now we need to see which way. I put that one down on the ground the way it came off. Let me see if I remember right. Okay, so we still have our tie rods left on there. Let's go ahead and put our idler arm up there. I'm checking to see which way the orientation of this center link went. Okay, so that means this would go like this. Okay, so that goes like that. Because if you look at it, see how they bend down? This would be the wrong way. So it's this way. And they go up into the, I believe they went up into it. I'm almost sure it goes up in it. Yeah, we would hit our pan if we did it the other way. That's awful close to that. Well, you still gotta tighten that. I'm almost sure, let me grab the old one. I'm almost sure it went like that. Because if we would go, because it was in here, and that's exactly what that's for, to protect your, help protect it a little bit. So there's no way I could go the other way. Let me see, so if it goes, no way. These little pads, you could leave them on there. It doesn't really matter because your joint's gonna, it just keeps the, when it smashes down against it, it keeps the grease kind of like a boot. It's not a boot, but it is a boot because you can't put a boot on here because there's no lips nowhere. So they just put these little pads on there. All right, let me see. Nut started on this one. And then I'll put what I'm going to do with these tie rods just seems awful close to that. Awful close to that. Even after I tighten it. And that will put it in a bind. Is this on correct? It almost looks like it's at a bind. Dun, 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 dun. Let me see something here. Okay, so if that went there, it matches up, but man, is that on there. That bar is just like right against that. Let me get a crescent wrench so if you could turn this straight. I think that's how it goes, guys. It's got to. But why is it so? Let's make sure that it matches the other one. It looks like it. It just don't feel right. It's it. It is it. There's no way it could go. Let's see. Would it go down? I doubt it. Yeah, then we'll hit our pan. There's no way. So would it go this way? Let's see what that does. Nope, then we're going to hit there. And there's no way that would fit correctly. No matter how we do that. Yeah, that ain't right. It's got to be this way, guys. I don't know why why it's so. Maybe once I tighten it up and get it all up in there, it'll make a difference. It's got to be. It's the only way it can go on. Unless I'm seeing something wrong here. Or I'm doing something wrong. Alright, let's get this one on here. Get these nut and bolts. This makes it so much, and I did check at it. I just churned it. It's nice. It's brand new. There's nothing wrong with it. You don't want that thing sloppy. Stuff will be just as sloppy and bad as anything else on here being bad. It'll make that whole arm, both your wheels, go weird. Let me see here. Am I lining up? It almost seems like this arm is not on all the way. Or does he have it on upside down? Let's see, if I flipped it that way, it would put, nope, it put it lower. So either, it just seems like this is in a bind and that's in a bind. It's not going on easy. All right, guys, I'm going to recap on what we got going on here. That was the Amazon delivery for those batteries that I had to get for the GoPros. Wouldn't you know it, the phone died right after that. So it's the next morning. I got all the stuff charged up, ready to roll. Let me just kind of show you here real quick. I took the old center link and the tie rod assembly. As you guys saw it, I had it laying up here. I just kind of went off the measurements of where to set the new ones at between both points. I ain't got none of this tight yet. And I try to get it pretty even in the sleeve, like screw them in evenly and get it set. So then I put the center link in first because we couldn't get it in. Remember how, if you go back in the beginning of the video, you'll see how it was, I had to take off the idler arm to get it out of there because of the way they go up into these, the pitman arm and the idler arm. It's kind of like real tight, but everything's correct. I made sure of it. I put that back on. I put the idler arm in. I bolted it back to the frame. Now I'm going around tightening all my joints, and then we'll put all of our cotter keys in. I went around and checked all of our zerts, our grease fittings on every part on the car, ball joints, every part of them. I tightened them all up so we don't got to worry about losing one of those or, whatever. You slide over there the lower ball joint. Somehow I still can't find it, but it was over there with my cotter key. I found the cotter key, but I can't find the zert still. But I took some of the old ones out of the other stuff, so I used one of those, so we're good. I'm going to go around and tighten my lower controller arm and upper. Well, no, the uppers are tight. I'm going to tighten the lower controller arms now to where I think those are going to be pretty good. You don't want to over tighten those because they'll be in a bind. That is a lock nut on there. What you want to do is get it to where it's snug up against the frame. And if you look down inside here where the bushings are, just where everything's nice and snug. You don't want to over torque that because that thing won't move. That arm won't move right. Your front end won't travel correctly. That bolt's not going to come loose once you snug it up. I was thinking I'm going to tighten all that up, put the cotter keys in. I'm going to go around and grease it. We got to get our sway bar back in, our sway bar links and our sway bar, and then we'll get this thing set up for the alignment. I don't know, as I said before, they had this with no shims in it, which was surprising as far as the camber goes on the upper arm, where you move the control arm in and out to get your camber and caster settings. Nothing, just flat up against the frame there where it mounts. So I don't know what's going on there. We won't know until we get it down, and I got a little angle finder, and we'll set it on the wheel there. That's all you need is an angle finder to see what degree your camber's at and stuff. But we'll check all that, and I think I found some shims. If not, we'll have to run down in town and get some body shims will work, anything like that, you know, that's got different thicknesses and things like that. And you can double them up and triple them up in there and tighten it back up. The hard part's going to be getting to the bolts to unloosen them to get that stuff in there. You got to go through the A-arm. It's going to be kind of a pain in the butt. But anyways, we'll get there. Let me tighten these up real quick and get the cotter keys in them. I'm gonna tighten these up too. Our sleeve. I'm not gonna tighten them all the way, just to where they're not falling no more, because we got to make adjustments with that for our in and out. I kind of got the wheels straight in the car, and I kind of stood in front of it and looked down the side of it, and got our wheels somewhat where I think they're straight. That's where that's going to come in when we set it. But I wanted to get them close before I go, you know, putting all that back down on it. We're going to have it on turntables. Now, one more thing real quick. I know a lot of you guys ain't going to have turntables to put your wheels on to line your cars. So a piece of tile, just a regular piece of tile, you can go to Menards and Lowe's and buy one for a couple dollars, and you just set those down on your concrete floor and put your car on it easy. Do this all easy so it don't crack on you, and make sure there's no rocks or debris underneath it, because that will snap it. But if it's all flat underneath, I've used them. And you have to do the same with the back wheels. The car has to be sitting, you know, the same. You don't want your front up and your back, you know, you want it all on the same surface, the same height. So, because on here, these come out, the turntables go in, and it becomes the same height as all this, as the back wheels. Because those move too back there when you're doing a four-wheel alignment, which you're not going to be getting into that most of the time. You're just going to set your front off of your rear, your squareness, and your car will be fine. Unless something's hitting the back, and something weird's going on back there, this video is not for that. So this is just for, you'll see once we get into it. Let me do that. Let me tighten these up. I'm talking too much already. Let me tighten these up, put the cotter keys in, and I'll bring you back when I'm putting the sway bar in, and then we'll get it all going. Okay, I've got all the joints in tight, no grease yet, but the cotter keys are in them. You guys, so I looked at this pitman arm here, and it looks kind of like it's at an angle. And when I was putting that center link in yesterday, it kind of was like that side was down, kind of like it's doing. So that's twisting, and it's making it go like that. And it was kind of like in a bind. I was like, something's not right here. So I caught that and said, well, there's probably the problem. The dude's got this on, something's weird. So I went to go try to, look at this. I stuck this wrench on here. Look at this. You guys see that? I ain't did nothing. I just wanted to see if it was tight or what's going on with it. The thing is coming right off as I'm doing that. I mean, okay, so, and I'm glad I caught this next one, guys. I'm trying to get this car done so we can get this alignment thing, but I mean, this could be a whole video, just this stupid crap here. But you guys, this is kind of, if you're not if you haven't done nothing like this, this is not that hard to do. All you do is match up your old stuff, put it back on the way it was, and then when we get to the next part of aligning it, we'll get to that part. But none of it's like, you got to be, you know, you don't have to be a scientist for none of it. You know what I mean? It all goes on one way, and you tighten it up and you match it and get your wheels kind of eyeballed straight. Then you align it later. Okay, that's that. Make sure all your stuff's tight. Get your cotter keys through it. Tighten up your grease fittings. Get them ready for grease. That's it. Simple stuff. Now check this out. I gotta get the camera out for this one, or get it off the tripod. So I'm looking. Look at the bolts on the spindles, the nuts, the front one and the back one back there. Same on both sides. You guys, how do you send somebody out of your garage like this? I don't even know what's going on there. I mean, nothing's loose. There's no thread coming through those. It's not even in the neoprene, the lock nut part of the bolt of the nut. So when that comes apart, guess what? The outer spindle with the hub goes flying on both sides of the car. And that, look at this. Look at the angle of that, how crooked, how, I don't even know what's going on there yet. So I'm going to address the pitman arm real quick. Hopefully that's, I have no idea, you guys. I mean, like I said, I'm trying to get this car done. I got to get it done. But every time I look and turn my head, there's something new going on here. You know what I mean? I didn't think to look at those spindles because they look like brand new spindles. I don't know but I don't know if he put them together or they came like that, or he had to put them together. There's no way the company would give you that. Or he got them like that and he was supposed to go through and make sure, tighten them up, or those bolts that he's got going through there, those are incorrect. They're not the right length. Something's not right there, guys. And this is just wrong. I mean, I don't know. I don't even know what to say. So, like I said, let me do this real quick. Well, I got you guys on the camera here. We'll do this one real quick. And then the this stuff here, I got to pull the rotor and stuff off, the bearings, and pull it off so I can get to the back of the nuts. I thought when I was putting on the spindle and all that yesterday on top of the ball joints, that it didn't just slip right on. It was like this was hitting the lower control arm, and it's right against it on that backing plate. I mean, right against it. So that's in a bind right there. So I'm not sure yet. We'll get it addressed though. But this here, I believe it's on the threads correctly because there is a flat spot in those threads, so you can only put that on one way. But you can put it on the other, this way. But if we did that, if we got it on the other way, it's going to bring this way down and it's going to hit the frame. So it's on correct, and it's got to be on right where the flat spot is inside of those splines. So that's got to be correct. I mean, that is crazy. You know what? I'm going to go try to find a socket and hit it with the impact. That way it'll get it on there good. So give me a second. Okay, so on these, like all these sockets, guys, I don't have, as none of you guys are going to either. Maybe somebody, but a whole set of these things are expensive. So what you can do is on stuff like this, if you need certain sockets, Menards has a great selection of sockets you could buy singly, like these impact ones. I got, every time I need another one, a big size like that, I'll measure it with the tape or my mics, and I'll go get the correct one. But I always make sure it's not metric, or because that one there is an inch, and of course on a car this old, it's not going to be metric anyways. But okay, let me see what that looks like. Yeah, guys, it straightened it out. I mean, it looks a lot better. We got more thread down here. We're safe. Gee, my knee. Okay, so now let me go ahead. I was gonna put the sway bar on, so I'm gonna stop right here. But that's the last thing I have to do right here, and then we can get this thing back down on the turntables and start with the alignment. Pause the button, you know what I'm saying? So now we got to stop. I got to pull this hub off. Let me see what's going on. I think what we just need to do there is get some longer bolts and get that straightened out, because that is just dangerous, you guys. I'm not letting that go out of here. I mean, think about, I get this car done and I missed that, or even I seen it and said I ain't fooling with that. I didn't just none of my deal. Whatever people do. He gets going down the road and his, with his wife, and they're cruising around. One of these come apart or both come apart. What do you think's going to happen? I mean, what if this thing flips and rolls into a ditch or crashes into somebody and kills a little family or some kids? That is crazy to me. And for that guy to let that go and have that conscious on his mind that he knew that was wrong, and he's giving it to this guy like that, for him to go out and maybe kill him or somebody else. That's bad. That's terrible. You guys, and this is why I keep stressing things so much. Try to do things yourself. This stuff is not that hard to do. Or you could do this stuff on a weekend, and you could trust what's going on with your vehicle. You know what I mean? You don't have to worry about stuff like that. This guy was told, they told that this guy was very reputable and a great mechanic. You've seen throughout this whole video what I've been dealing with. Let me get the car back down. We'll pull this rotor off. You guys, I'm going to show some of this in case some of you guys have not done this before. But basically this was on there. I knocked it off with a little chisel. Just got right behind it with a hammer and tapped it off. And that's, you put it on, when you put it on, you hit against this. You don't hit there. That's why he's got it all smashed up. I pray I don't open up another can of worms in here. I pulled my caliper off already. It was just the two Allen heads pins that go right through it and tighten up. So what this is guys, this is a front disc brake conversion kit that the guy put on here for him. I'm looking at it. None of this is factory. So, because I got to looking at the way these hoses are on here, the way he's got everything on here, I'm not even so sure that he's got the calibers on the right side. That might go over there and the other one might come over here. I gotta look into that. Something don't look right with that to me. Okay, here, what you do is, let me grab so you want to get this off and out of the way. real quick, the bearing. Actually, yeah, we won't have to pop that off because we're not changing it. Okay, so normally, let me show you something here. Jeez, I don't even know what's going on there. Oh, that didn't sound right. Are these all okay? Okay, normally what you would do is you take that outer bearing and washer off. You put your nut back on it, about like that, and then you take your rotor and you keep it at a down position like this, and you go pull out real fast. What that does is it pulls the bearing and the seal off the back of this at one shot. I'll show you. All that'll come off together. I don't know if my camera's down there or not. All that seal and the bearing will all pop it off without ruining that seal. It just like pushes it out. Normally it don't ruin the seal. Okay, here's the nuts and the problem that we're having. So the top one goes into a threaded point, so that's okay. These brackets do have an L and R on them, so he's got that right. We just need to check the calibers to see if that's correct. These I'm going to pop out and I'm going to put longer ones in it. I'm going to go find out what we got going on, what kind of a, I think I have some grade 8 bolts over there. If not, I may have to run and get some. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take out the 2 bottom ones, see if I got some long ones. If not, we'll go get them and get the correct ones for it, and then we'll put it back together. Let me try to find some bolts. I'll pop these out. There's really nothing there. I'm trying to keep this video down as far as the time is going here, and I just remembered I better do this now while I'm thinking about it. I'm going to go ahead and tighten up our lower controller arm bolts. There's so much going on. This is like overwhelming, what the things I'm finding and everything, and boom, you know, I'm trying to do it one thing at a time so we don't miss things, all kind of stuff, and didn't do the right things here. So let me tighten those, pop these out, and I'll be right back. We're gonna do this side together, guys, so you guys can see it all. Had to run down to Rule King and get 2 new bolts, or 4, 2 for each side. All right, let's do this. Take your chisel right behind that lip, and I'll show you it goes on just as easy. You don't have to ruin none of your parts. I mean, this, look at that. He flattened out all of them. Every last one of them. A little better surface, but oh well. I need to probably chill with that guy. He's got me so. I just can't believe he'd send somebody out there like that. Dangerous. Get your pressure off your caliber. Just put it right in that rotor and pull on it, and then it loosens it up. Get some of that stuff off there. On these aftermarket ones, these are Allens on the calibers here. Some of them are hex nut. You'll know. It should come right out. You should get your pressure off of your piston and put it right on this little thing here. Looks like something was hitting that right there. We need to look at that. I'm surprised he's got this. The other one was too tight. This one feels okay. Just trying to see what he done here. And I'll show you how to, when you're putting these back on, how much to put on them. You don't need to torque them. Okay, I got a splinter in my. Wow, that was in the rag. Okay, these if you guys do this, I don't think, unless you have a aftermarket deal going on. But the ones that this is how they go together, even when they're not aftermarket. You won't be going through this. Look at that, 2 little turns, and it's nothing else on it. Terrible, guys. There's the difference. 3/8 of an inch. Yeah, I didn't have no grade 8 bolts, so I ran down to Rule King and got 4 of them. And now we're right. Now we're the way it should be. Safe. I already tightened these top ones. They was fine, shockingly. I should run that in with my, I went here all day. Oops, taking it off. Put that one in there. Yeah, I already got the other side done, but I wanted you guys to see all this. That one was probably the tightest out of the 4, and it's still, I left my nut on a little bit just so I can pull that out of there. Come on. I don't want to say that. It sounds a little weird. Grab my nut. Okay, I said it. I don't think it may fit in there. Let's try it. Yeah. I don't want to turn the wheel because I want you guys to see it all. If I turn it that way, you might miss some of it. That's it, guys. That's simple. Put our rotor back on. And he's seen that. If those are the bolts that came in the kit, which I think it is, because when I bought one of these kits from my Chevelle, the 66 Chevelle that I did, and I put disc brakes on it. Same thing, it came with these too short. So I went and got the correct ones. And he's seen that. So let me just tell you this real quick. So I'm spinning this and tightening it, spinning it and tightening it. I'm letting the bearings seat. So that would be too much. So right there. And it spins nice. So yeah, he's seen that in this kit. And I hope to God that guy stumbles across this video one day and sees this. He's gonna know who he is. Hopefully he leaves a comment in there and says something to me about whatever, so we can expose who he is, so nobody else goes there, but he won't. Okay, there, since he's already ruined his cap, take your chisel, hit it on the same lip you pried off with. That way, that way, that way, and now you won't have a smashed cap. Why smash it? I just hit it on there. You know what I mean? Probably didn't want to go get a chisel. Okay, that's how you put them on, guys. Let's wipe this off a little bit. Yeah, it spins nice and free. Nothing's in the bind. Our bolts are safe. He ain't gonna crash down the road. Now, I seen this little, oh, it's nothing. It's the casting. Okay. These things was on weird too. These shims on the other side. Let me see if this one does it. That seems all right. Yeah, I wanted to do this with you. That way you guys can see it all. Just in case, you know, I don't know. There's a lot of these kits out there and people do them and I don't know why, and I'm telling you, I know these came in that kit because mine were the same way. Why they keep putting them in the kit is beyond me. 3/8 of an inch more is all you need to make it the correct one. So, like I said, yeah, just and if it ain't, go down and get the right ones, man. If this was my car, I wouldn't do this to my car. You know what I mean? Would you put those on your own car and risk something? Literally, I mean, what do you think that's going to do when it gets hot? Like when you're out in a hot day and you keep on hitting on the brake, that whole spindle's getting hot, and that lock nut's got nylon in it. If you're barely on the thread, that's going to heat up and start to come off there so easy. Before you know it, you know, a week later, the bolt's out and your rotor's just sloppy. Or I mean, your spindle's sloppy. All this is getting ready to come apart because of all that weight on there. You know, I'm just. All right, guys, I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to tighten the lower control arms. I'm going to do that. I'm going to snug up these clamps on these sleeves for the tie rods, just so they're snug. And then I'll bring you back when we're putting our sway bar in. We'll get that in, this sucker down on the turntables, and start getting this alignment done. So give me a few. Okay, I got it all set up. I put the one side on. So here's how these go. They got a split in them. You just take it, put it right down over that split. Put your clamp on there. Well, I'm going to lose it. Put your clamp on there like it goes. I'm going to try to do this without losing it. Let's go ahead and leave that one off for a second. Let's start. Let me try to start this side. Put that on top of something over there. Grab one of our bolts. See if we can't get one started here. Yep, we got that one started. See if I can't get this other one going. I always start them by hand, guys. Okay. It is so hot, by the way. So hot. Can I come that way a little bit? Get this one in there. Okay. Let's snug them up some, and then let me make sure you guys are in. No, you're not. Oh, guys. Okay, let me grab out somewhere. Is this correct? No. That thing. I got metric, guys. Makes sense. I believe it's a 9/16. Yep. So we're gonna have the same problem here. That bracket is kind of like right in the way. You almost have to. Let me see. I need to get some tape on that. Get that loud thing off. All right, last one, you guys. What it is the head of the nut is close to the inside of the bracket. So you can't get a socket on it. So you can run them up and then finish them off with the wrench, open end wrench. Because you can't even get your closed end on it either. So just get it up a little bit at a time. Okay. All right, whoo, it is hot, you guys. How many times are you gonna hear me say that? Now let's get our links in. We'll get our links in, we'll put our shocks on, then we can do what we finally wanna do here. Okay, let me get this down. Get this one on. I've dropped so many things today, you guys. That's because I'm trying to be in a hurry now because I'm backtracking so much on this car. I mean, backtracking, guys. Oh, I gotta quit talking about this guy. It's just getting me madder and madder. These things go on the way they are, the way they show you they are. If you get confused You can always find yourself a picture. They're not that difficult. I used to think these links were, how am I gonna remember to put those? They're really not that bad. Well, getting them in place is what you gotta, I'm wondering. No, it won't be. Get in there, there it goes. Okay, last one. And I'll show you an up close of it. Once we get, there it goes. Told you. Okay, what I'm gonna do is get this side as far as this one is with I left the bottom one off. And then what I'll do is I'll get the jack, I'll raise the control arms up a little bit, and it'll make it a lot easier to start that. Because on the fresh bushings, they're fresh, and so they're gonna be wider, you know what I mean? So with you guys, you would just use a floor jack per side, but get them all set first. I'm taking them off in order. All it is one bushing on each side of this thing, the sleeve, same thing on the bottom. Bushing on top, bushing on the bottom. No big thing there. Let's see if I can do this without dropping another washer. Probably not. I guess if that's the only thing that I'm having a problem with is dropping stuff, we're doing okay. Is this gonna fit? Oh, it might. We might be able to start it. Nah, let's get the jack on it. Okay, I'm gonna raise it up a little bit. I only have this right here, right where the frame's at, just for safety, because I got it on jack stands, but I'm sitting there moving around things. I don't want it to come off them stands on this lift, so I just put that there for safety. That's all. If you guys are wondering why I had that back there. Let's try to get this. Let's see if that helped it. Yeah, I think so. Once we get it started, okay, that one started. Woo! Man, is it hot. Pretty soon we'll be saying, woo! Man, is it cold. I'm gonna get a pry bar and put it in there. That'll probably help us a lot. Just get it right above that bolt head. Oh yeah, that'll help us. Now if I can hold all this in one hand. Oh yeah, that's a lot better than the other side. Let's do that a little bit. Just so we know that nut's on there really good. Now this side, I ain't got nowhere to do it. I know this side's okay. I don't need to waste my time with it. Okay, let me get this back down easy. Let me grab, I believe these are 9/16. Yes, yes, and a socket. That's it, till it stops. That's all I do. We good to go. That thing is smoking. I'm seeing stuff. Hang on one second, guys. Real quick, you guys, if you remember right, on the bottom there where the shock mounts, remember he had them weird little studs he made? I'm gonna go try to find the 4 clips that's supposed to be in there, to where all you do is put your shock up in there, run your bolt up in it, and tighten it. Well, that way you don't need wrenches down inside the coil trying to get whatever. I don't know what he's got. Anyways, let me go find 4 of those and I'll be right back. So I went digging in my bolt bin, found a bunch of shims. I forgot I had a kit that has different thicknesses in it. Then I went through and got all these. I'm going to try to make these work. These are standard 5/16 American threads. These are kind of small. Ideally, this probably would have been the ones we wanted here, because they're about the same size, but this is a different thread. This is a finer thread in here. These are just a tad small. I'm sure I could find more if I look and dig more, but let's try to get these to work. I'm gonna get the car back down where we can, hang on, let me check something. All right, same as the sway bar links. Put a washer down and one of your rubbers, which there's like a bigger in or out dent, whatever you want to call it, and then a smaller one. The smaller one's going to go up, so the other one's going to rest against that washer. Okay, what I want to try to do is see if I can't get this hammered on here. So we want our nut part inside. Let me see if I can't get that started. I got like a hammer where it's hard to do this. Well, it's on there. Only problem is right there as far as we can go, I think. Now a little more. Yeah. I need like try to line that hole up. See, I'm afraid that there's the end of this clip. These are the wrong clips for this, but they will work. Okay, that one's good. Let me even see if it's going to be in our way. It might be in our way of our shock. Get that in there. Maybe, let's see, maybe get the shock up in there first. Heck, that thing don't even want to. Okay, so we'll get this up in there first. Right there. That's going to go this way. Yeah, I think we can do it once we get it up in there. All right, so I need to keep this thing somehow right there. Actually, guys, I'm gonna have to go get a screwdriver and be prepared. Because once I get that up in there, I gotta work that back and around into the hole Let me get this one on here real quick and then get started. What are you hitting? There's something in the way? Might have to put that one on after. Let me grab a screwdriver. The only thing I want the screwdrivers for is to get it up in there and move it around where we need it. So this one here, let's put it on afterwards. Okay, let's get this up in here. Yeah, the correct ones is the one I showed you, the black ones. Those are the ones you want because the distance of where it goes, the distance that you have of where it goes is, that's all you have, that room. Let me see. Okay, that one's ready. Let's get that bolt started. Now let's get this one lined up. Get that started. That wasn't so bad. All right, let me go grab I believe that's half inch. Now that wasn't so bad, was it, guys? And you ain't gotta stick no wrenches in there and whatever's going on. Let's see if we can luck out twice. Well, you guys seen me do that. Let me get this one in. I'll get the car down. Actually, I'm gonna get these in and get the grease gun, grease all this up. I'm gonna get the car down and we'll put the top two, we'll put our tops of our shock on, and then we'll get our wheels back on it, put this stuff in there and get this alignment going. Hold on a second. All right, let's grease this up. That shock did go on the same way, no issues. Got this little, you put it on there and it clamps it and it doesn't fall off. Pretty cool. You can buy them in a kit and you ain't gotta do nothing. And I got this. These were at like Rural King or somewhere. They was discontinued, like $5 on the shelf. And they're like little cheap tool bin things. I just do that and watch that boot. That's it. I already did, nope, I didn't do that one yet. Don't need much of those. Especially with this thing. This thing is sweet. One little shot. Get on there. You gotta squeeze it just right. Some of these are different sizes, and I got another one of these in my kit, but all you gotta do is just feed it on there better. There we go. I'm gonna wipe. I already did the inner tie rods, but to do them, we'll have to turn the wheel that way and come in from the back side, but I already did them because of that reason. So boom, boom, boom. We just gotta get that upper ball joint, sway bar. Let's do idler arm. Same thing. Oop, there it is. Okay. Inner, outers. Did I do this lower? Let's do it again. I forget. I know I did that side. I'm sure you guys remember. Yep, we did. Okay. Boom, boom, boom. I already did them. This, that, this. I already did that, this, that. Okay, so all we got to do is our upper ball joints. That's done. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead real quick. I don't know if you guys want to watch that or not. Throw the rear shocks on it just so they're done. So the car is finished. When we're done to line it, we can go for a cruise. Just double checking everything. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Let me throw those on real quick. I might bring you back when I'm putting the one on. Let me go spray them down first with some lube, and I'll take it back here. All right, guys, I forgot. He wanted to put air shocks on this. I remember him saying that, and I opened the box and they're air shocks. So I want to show you. I got the shocks mounted. No big deal there. Just the bottom stud on each side, and then 2 half-inch bolts, kind of like the way the front shock's mounted on the bottom. That's it. Just 2 bolts up top, and that one there. They mount right in real easy. I didn't have to jack nothing up or do anything. They come off, nothing will collapse, because you do have coil springs on the back too. If they weren't there and they had some kind of other setup, then yeah, we would have had to brace that, the body. But normally you got coils or leaf springs on it where it ain't gonna fall on you. So sometimes if the shock is extended not enough, or it is all the way extended and it's the rear end's down too far and you got it jacked up in the air, then yeah, you got to raise your rear end up a little bit to fit your shock in the bottom. But other than that, I didn't have to do anything like that because it's sitting on pretty much like it's on the ground right now. You know, so if you were able to get up underneath it like this, you wouldn't have to do anything. But most people's gonna have to jack it up, put jack stands in it. Then you will have to bring your rear end up to match the bottom hole to get your bottom mount in. Hang on, I'm gonna take you underneath and show you how I'm gonna do these the lines and stuff. Okay, first I gotta watch that rear end. I've bashed my head on it 12 times today. I'm dizzy from it. So you got this real teeny little O-ring. You probably can't see it. And then this cap. So what you do is you'll put your cap on the line first, then the O-ring, and then, and I'll show you this. We'll go around, if I can fit the camera in these tight areas. You'll put the line in there and then just tighten that up by hand. You don't have to use a wrench or nothing. So you fit the line in there to where it stops. Screw your cap on until it's good and snug. And that's it. Now, we got the exhaust in the way. So what this needs to do is we need to run this line from both sides, probably to right here on this pan is where I'm going to drill and put our little, I think there's a little hole right there we can put it in. Yeah, maybe right here. So our fitting to put the air in it is going to be probably right here somewhere. So what we need to do is we need to take this line away from this exhaust. Okay, we got a fuel line right here. I'm going to wire tie it to that. And then down along the side of it we'll go of the gas tank up in here where that's going to be. And I think we should have plenty. I hope. Let me do this. Let me put our let me put this side on here. Man, that's like, this exhaust is so in the way. I hope these ain't gonna melt. I mean, I'm gonna have it out of the way, but whew, it's like right there. All we can do is do what we can. Okay, over here, yep, I got the same return line. I'm gonna wire tie it to it. But man, we're like, and I don't want to kink this line, but we are literally that far from the exhaust. So I hope this thing don't get too hot back here. It shouldn't. But what I wanted to see is, yes, we are going to have enough. Okay, let me go grab a couple wire ties and secure those, and then we'll secure them up here somewhere and get our hole drilled for that. 1 second. Okay, we have them secured in 2 spots on both sides on that line on each side. Now, let's go ahead and drill our, I'm going to start with the smaller one, with the 5/16. The thread of that is 5/16. So let's go ahead and find about the middle, right here somewhere. Okay, let's mount this. Actually, we'll have to put our line on it first. Okay, so I'm going to cut this about in half. I got this little, I mean, this is for 3D printing stuff, for cutting the tube that the filament goes through. It's just a blade though. So just get you a blade, cut it clean. Okay, now I'm going to go behind this bracket. We're going to secure that. Not real tight, just enough. It ain't going to go nowhere. Both sides. Yeah, when you do that, it makes a real clean cut in it. Nothing's smashed, it's all nice and open. I know you guys are probably saying, where's your safety glasses at? That's my dumb fault. I'm so lazy to go over and get them until I get something in my eyeball and be stupid about it. Okay, so now we're going to meet these to the T right here. We're going to put a T right here, and then I'm going to go ahead and wire tie that around the neck once we get them on there. So we need roughly, I hope we have, yeah, we'll have plenty. Okay, let me cut this one here. We'll get it on there. Probably keep that one for our one that goes back. Put the cap on, put the O-ring on. Same thing, slide it up in the slot. Take your cap, make sure the line stays in it the whole time. Snug it up nice, airtight. Okay, now we'll take this one and cut it right here. Well, you guys just got all kind of stuff in this video. Air shocks and alignment. I deserve some kind of likes. Hit them likes, guys. Throw me some comments. Man, I really need them. I need the shares. I need all that. I hope I ain't asking for too much. That's what really helps the channel. Okay, now let's put the other one on here. I'm keeping the line pushed in as I'm tightening it. Okay, now one more. We need it to be, we'll give a little extra. We can wire tie that up to the thing. They give you just enough, so don't lose nothing. Just enough caps, just enough O-rings. No extras, guys, no extras. They ain't got time for the DIY. You gotta be a professional to them guys, or else don't lose your stuff. Drop number 643 for the day. I'm telling you what, big dummy. All right, let me snug this up. That's a 1/2 inch. Okay, got our Schrader cap. Put it on there. Let's wire tie one right here. Actually, we'll do one back here. Right about there. Thought I had some more out. Can I drop any more? Wouldn't be surprised. Put another one back here. These long ones are great. I get these from, you get them anywhere. Rural King, I mean, these I got from Ace, True Value store. There's a little rack they put up in all them stores and hardware stores. The people that sell those, and they're there for you. Pull that out a little bit. All right, guys, we're secure and good. I don't need any more. Let's grab, let me throw some of this stuff away. I'm gonna grab an air hose and we'll see how this pumps up. Make sure we ain't got no leaks. What we'll do is we'll go around and spray it with soapy water and confirm that we don't have to tighten nothing else. We don't want them to have no leaks. Put my little thing back in here. Let me go grab the soapy bottle and the air line. Be right back. Let's go ahead and get some air in it. Yeah, putting on air shocks, guys, it's nothing to it. You can even put these on like vehicles that have air ride systems in it that go bad and you don't want to spend $10,000 to fix it. You can put this on it, get your vehicle sitting right again, and be done with it. All right, let's get a little air in this thing. She's raising. There's 45. I think 90 is the max. Let's do 65. We'll do 65. Let me test all this now with this. No bubbles, please. When you're good, you guys. What can I say? All right, put our cap back on. So we got 65 pounds in that. We'll see how she rides. Let's go back to the front. We gotta get our top two shock mount, the top of the shocks mounted, and get the wheels back on it. Turntables in place. Start aligning this thing finally. Wow. All right, give me a few. I'll bring you guys back to the front. Down there somewhere. That's what I was going to do, is look for a different light today. I forgot. All right, same thing. This part with the skinnier nipple part goes down into the hole, and that's the bigger one goes where the washer is. Slide it right down over the stud. Put our nut on there. It's a 1/2 inch. Hand start everything. Oh, it's 9/16. My bad. Sure didn't look like it. Hopefully it ain't metric. Same as the sway bar links. Hit that sucker till it stops, or when you ratchet it, you'll feel it. It'll be like stop. And just quit there. You don't need no more. I'm gonna put the other side on real quick. Hang on a second. You guys thought I forgot, didn't you? Wonder how many of you guys was paying attention. I already got other side. All right, now we're ready for the wheel. I put 3 lugs per side because we're probably gonna have to take the wheel back off to put shims in that thing. So here's how these go. These come out. Now, like I said, most of you guys ain't gonna have turntables. So a piece of tile on the ground, all 4 wheels, evenly. Obviously we're gonna have to bring the car forward, but I'm just getting these in right now. So give me a second, I'm gonna put the other side in, and we'll get this thing jacked up and drop down. Hang on. All right, let's get these jack stands out of the way. I can probably lift it here. Let me try it. Yep. One more. There's that plate I use, guys. Easy does it. Now, one thing, don't forget when you go in the car for the first time to move it, don't take it out of gear until you pump your brakes up, because we did move the calipers. Remember, we pushed them in a little bit. If not, you may go to push that thing and go through your garage wall. You won't have the same pedal you realized you had before. So pump them up before you put it in any gear, before you take it out of park. All right, first thing you want to do, chock your back wheel up, because we might be going up and down with that, just for safety. Second thing is, well, let me back up. First thing is, when you put your tile or trim plates underneath your wheels, make sure they're centered out here, and come to the front and make sure they're centered in and out. So left to right, in and out. You want that thing right in the middle. It's just because it's going to work the best. Everything's going to give you more adjustability that way. Put them in the center. Next thing, come up front. Either bounce on it from the top, or if you're on a lift, give it a couple good bounces. And there we go. We're seated. You can see it even drop some. All right, I'm gonna take it back down for a second. I want to see something, because I think we can get to the adjustment of the camber. Yep, I think we can get to them up here, guys. And we won't have to take no wheels off. Yeah, I think we can get to them right here. Oh yeah. All right, so what we're gonna do first is, let me go grab some. Here's what you normally do right here. Just bounce it around. I'm gonna go get, no, okay, before we go any further, let's go over here real quick. After you get your car where you're gonna have it at, without moving it no more, come inside. While it's running, take the wheel and go left and right, and keep doing that, and keep going, and keep coming shorter, until you're down. So what you're gonna be doing is basically going left, right, and go longer to shorter strokes, and come down to nothing. Make sure it's centered. This one fortunately has a lock, so we don't have to put the thing against the seat to lock the wheel, and you guys are not going to have that either. So what you're going to have to do is get it lined up, put your seat up as far as you can, find something to jam between your seat and the wheel, and keep looking at it and make sure it's, because here in a minute, oh no, my bad, I can't use the lock, because we're going to be having to turn the wheel left to right down there maybe. So it's got to be in neutral, or it's got to be unlocked. So let me grab my thing. I'll show you my thing. Okay, so here's basically what mine does. It just pushes against the seat. It's got like, it binds it up there to keep this at the bottom of the steering wheel to keep it tight. So I've already unlocked it, and now we're tight. And I kept making sure that that wheel's straight, left to right, okay? So you'll just have to take like some, whatever, 2x4, something you can just push down on your seat and jam it against the bottom of that wheel. Get creative, you know what I mean? Figure out, or maybe you make a little rod or something and put it down into a 2x4. You know, anything that'll hold that from moving is all you got to do, because you want it to be straight when we're done lining this thing up. All right, I wanted to show you that. Good morning, everybody. It's another day. All right, so I stopped yesterday. It was a little hot. It was late in the day. So we're gonna start on our alignment process here. So normally, this is kind of the part I'm going to tell you right now. You kind of got to go back and forth a little bit here. So the first thing we're going to check is going to be the camber in the front wheels. And normally, per car, I'll just look up, I'll Google it and see where kind of it should be at, and that's what I go with. Same with the toe. And normally that's usually like an 1/8 or 1/4 toe in or toe out, depending if it's front wheel drive or rear wheel drive. And then you split that. You don't do per wheel, you'll split it. We'll go through all of it. And then, so what we'll do is we'll set the camber first, and then we'll probably string it and try to get the wheel straight, parallel to the back wheels, so square in the car. And then we'll get a measurement to see if we have any lead in or lead out in the car, meaning is one wheel back or forward on one side, to square that up. And that's usually the caster, you know, bringing the back of the A-arm in a little bit to pull the wheel back some if you need to, depending on how bad it is. And once again, we can look that number up too, because you don't want the car, any of that stuff will make the car pull if it's off. But normally that kind of thing, if it's not been touched like this, is okay. So let's go ahead and set the camber up front here. I'm going to show you how we're going to check the camber, and I'll show you guys how a few different ways what you can use at home to do this with. Simple tools. So give me a second. All right, first let me show you the things we're going to need. We're going to need some string. You're going to need some jack stands or something taller that's going to be stable for all four corners. And they don't have to be no taller than probably, well, from the ground to the middle of your wheel is where the string's going to run. So just a little bit taller than the center line of your wheels all the way around, whatever that might be. You can make it out of cinder blocks, you know what I mean? Just whatever's going to stay there in all four corners for you is what you're going to need. I use these exhaust jacks or whatever you want to call them that I made out of galvanized post for when I'm underneath the car, hold my exhaust up when I'm welding it together. But I'm on a lift too. You guys will probably be on the ground, so cinder blocks, anything, or four tall jack stands that you can raise up out of the stand if you need to go a little bit higher to tie your string around. That works really well. You can use, hang on. Okay, you'll need like an angle gauge like this, or one of these little guys here. They're about 20 bucks, $15 on Amazon, and they do degrees. They do a few different things. It's like a bubble level. It's like a degree thing, and then you'll also need a little square or a square that you could set on the ground to check the levelness of your ground, because you're going to be matching. We're going to check the levelness of the ground too a little bit. One more thing, I bought these. These are toe plates I bought a long time ago. That's how I used to set my toe, but it's a lot. I think I like it a lot better the way I'm going to show you guys. So I kind of wasted my money on these, but I still use them, and I'll show you for what. Let's go over here. So when we're checking our camber and stuff, you don't need, all you need is like a piece of cardboard or something that's going to stay flat, that we can put up against the wheel flat like this and hold it against it flat, because this is where we're going to be checking for our camber in and out with that plate. Just whatever you could use a level, that size of a level, and use the back side of it. In fact, let me go grab that so we can check how level the front of the ground is here. Give me 1 sec. Okay, here's a little plastic one I have, and that's like the perfect size. What I mean by that, so you'll fit it flat against the wheel and hold it, and then you'll put your gauge against that to check it. And then you can also, this one's a cheap plastic one, but you can get the aluminum ones too. they'll all work. And this is not tools you have to buy just for this. You can use this around the house for everything. You know what I mean? It's not like you're going to be spending money on this stuff one time. You know what I mean? So the first thing we're going to do, and this is just how I do it, guys. It kind of, no matter how you go about checking this, as long as everything's square, level, and the numbers come out right, you're good to go. And always don't forget, make sure your steering wheel's straight in the car before you start. If you got turntables, fine. If not, pieces of tile, all 4 tires, like we said. Now, some people will double them up. Like they'll put 2 pieces of tile in the front or on all 4 wheels. So that's going to be 8 pieces of tile total that you'll have to buy. When you go to adjust the wheels, they'll spin on each other super easy versus if you put 1 piece of tile on the ground and try to spin on that. So 2 pieces is better than 1. But you got to have them on all 4 wheels to keep the car at the same height. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to set this down on the ground here. Right on the... actually, let's go right on the front of this lift. Okay, we're pretty level. I can't really see it. Yeah, yep, we're pretty level. The bubble may be slightly to the right. So actually, yeah, the left side actually needs to come up a tad, or that needs to go down a tad. So, I mean, it's not even worth messing with. So we're pretty level. Again, guys, these numbers, if you think about it, when they set your car at these shops on these machines, they set them close and they ship you out the door. Once you get into that green, what it is a screen. Hang on. Yeah, so when they set your car on the machines, the screen is going to tell them red and green, basically, on all the adjustments. Once they adjust and them lines go up into the green area, they stop. They don't go, that needs to be 4.3 on the dot, and then they don't, nobody does that, trust me. I mean, and when you get the paper, this is actually, the front of the car here is the same as the ground. So we're good either way. So double check it if you want. On up here and on the ground. Yeah, we're at the same spot. So this is all pretty level. This car's sitting pretty good actually. So yeah, them guys are not adjusting precise. So when you do it, don't worry. As long as you get your car, as long as that steering wheel's straight and you're doing everything I'm telling you, and you get your numbers super close like I'm telling you, your car will drive beautiful. And you'll see once you do this. All right, so we know the ground's, we know we're sitting level, the ground's level. Let's go ahead and check our, these guys, if you're gonna do this, I'd invest in one of these. You can use this also around the household for a bunch of other stuff. Wall squareness, you know, you can put it in the corner, check for square, for levelness, all kinds of stuff. These things are pretty cool. Like I said, they're only 15 to 20 bucks on Amazon, and they're real cool. They're real useful. I use them on everything. All right, let me get you over here. So once again, if you don't have something flat like a piece of aluminum, or just use your square. I'm going to use that plate because I've always have. It doesn't matter. All right, so first thing I'm going to do, make sure that's clean. This thing you have to set and then level it. So we'll start it up. Okay, now I'm going to 0 it right there. Okay, now put your plate, your square, whatever you have, flat up against the wheel. And set your gauge right in the center of the wheel about. So we're just, that wheel needs to, actually this side's not bad. Actually, let me look up and see what this car requires real fast. Hang on 1 second. And here's how I do it, guys. Hey Google, what's the camber setting on a 72 Olds Cutlass?
For a 1972 Oldsmobile Cutlass, the recommended front camber setting is between -0.5 and 0 degrees, with no more than 0.25 degrees difference between sides.
Okay. So minus, that means the top of the wheel goes in. Positive would be coming out. Negative is going in. So I think we are there with this one. She said minus 0.5 and 0 degrees. So we could set this one at 0. So let's 0 that. Make sure you guys are still in. I think that's where we was. This one's pretty good. Okay, there's 0. Yeah, we're just hang on, guys. Okay, that side is probably right where we wanted at. This side, let's 0 that. Okay, 0. Right in the center. Okay, so this one is, yeah, we have to go in on this one. So we have to pull it in about, we'll try to just shove a, let's go see what shims we have. This one is positive, meaning the wheel is coming out this way. So we need to take it in just a little bit. Just a little bit. So let's see what we got over here. Once again, you guys, I really recommend buying you a cheap set of these. A good set will be between 30 to 50 bucks, a decent set. A cheap one you can get from Harbor Freight for probably 10 to 20 bucks, and you'll see why as I'm going through this whole thing on this car. But they're nice for everything that you're going to be doing with this. Okay, so first thing we want to do, I'm going to not use these old ones because let's see what's in here. These are already marked inside here, and this is a kit I got from, I think, Rural King or somewhere. They had them. These are just body shim kits, a little kit like, and we can use them for this, any of that, as long as the slot in it is the same as the bolt going through your A-arm. These will work. Anything. You could cut a washer, cut the center of the, you know what I mean, get you a round washer and slot it like that, just so it goes over the thing, and just if it's the thickness you need, use it. You know what I mean? So on this one, these are a 16th. Let's check it. Yep, these are a 16th both. And you can see it says it. I just want to show you guys. 16th on both. Okay, let's go ahead and put these in. Actually, you know what? 16th. Do we have a quarter in here? Instead of using 2, that's an 1/8. Let me see something here. I'm thinking here, guys. I'll let you know what I'm thinking in a minute. Okay. Let's try the 16th first. I'm just afraid it ain't gonna be enough. Let's go over here. It's not that much, but I don't think. I guess I'm gonna put the 1/8 in there, and then if we have to, we'll pull it out and throw the 16ths in there. But I think for some reason 1/8 is gonna be perfect. I don't know why. I'm feeling like I know what I'm doing today for some reason. Okay, so what we need to do is, I need to get a socket for this side and a wrench for there. We need to unloosen them and get a little pry bar where we can pry that apart and stick our shims right between here. So let me go grab the tools we need. Be right back. Actually, you guys, we can loosen these and it'll start to come apart, and we can see exactly what we're going to need without even putting anything in it. So I'll show you what I mean by that. The gap is opening up right now, so I'm going to open it around the 1/8, and then we'll check it. Let me get it at an 1/8 in the front. There's roughly an 1/8 there. Let's get the back one again. Now on some of these cars, you're not going to be shimming it. It's going to have an adjustment. So you want to do these even. If not, you're going to have the camber thing I was telling you about, or the caster. You're going to have one part of your wheel going in further than the other. Okay, that's an 1/8, and that's an 1/8. Now, before we stick these in here and tighten it up, let's just see what that did. Where did I put my plate at? Oh, right here. Okay, double check our 0. Still there. That's a good thing about this. It's got a memory too. The last place you did it will still be the same thing. All right, let's get this to stay on here tight. Guys, 1/8 inch right there. It put us right where we needed to be at. I mean, literally. That is 89.64. So it's just a tad much. On the camber here. Let me go double check the other side real quick. See what that was. But it's kind of looser. So when I tighten that, it'll probably put it at about 65 point something. I'm just guessing. Because it's loose and they fall in. So once we tighten that, this side's almost the same. So that would be a perfect setting there. So let's put those in there and tighten them up. See if you guys can see down in here good. Hopefully it stays focused. And I don't make it go out of focus by doing this. Okay, see this one? There it goes. Let's start the dropsies today, guys. I'm not going to deal with getting it right now. See, a good thing about these two, they say right on them what they are, 1/8 or 16th. But still get you some of them gauges I showed you. There's the one. And what you want to do is, if you don't put them evenly, you're going to be using a pry bar to get the other one in. So try to, yeah, it's actually a little more open than an 1/8 because they just slipped right in there. Let's tighten these up. And once you tighten one, the front of the arm will start to come in on that side. Trying to drop this wrench. Let's snug up the front one so it don't fall out. I think it's already tight. Yeah, it's starting to snug up. Tighten the back. Okay. They're good and tight. Let's double check it again. I always keep checking the zeroness of it. Just, I know it's got a memory, but better peace of mind. See, it has some dirt there. Yeah, now it's 0.06 out, so let me zero it again. Probably just from moving it around. Not nothing to be worried about, but right on the money, guys. Right on the money. Same as the other side. So our camber is set. Perfect, actually. Nice. Okay, that was pretty easy and painless. So let me show you what I usually do. Like, I'll get back, I'll go in front of the car. It's hard moving this thing around. Actually, let's do this. Like, I'll go in front of the car and I'll look at it. And if you look at that, that wheel is sitting nice. So what that does is, when you're in the car and you gas on the car, let me show you the other one if I can. Perfect. So let me give you a little example here real quick. I got a splinter in my hand every day. So let's say here's the camber, just a little bit, and you're at a light. So when you take off and the front end goes up, this is what the wheels do. And here's what your toe does. It's towed in. You go take off, it goes to the straight point. See, that's why they tell you tow it in just a tiny bit. So when you take off, whoop, it gets to the straight. Same with the camber. Whoop, you see what I mean? So if you're cambered out and you take off, what's it going to do? Worse. Or towed out, what's it going to do? Worse. You know what I mean? So that's what these numbers are for. Man, I got it that quick, guys. Okay, let's go ahead. This is actually a nice place for now. Let me show you. I'm going to set my strings up. We're going to go ahead and get our wheels somewhat square to the back first right now. Hold on a second. Okay, so let me put this over here so you can see that hold down the side of the car there. Kind of watch what I'm doing here. All right, if you guys can see back there in the back, see that jack stand back there behind that back wheel? It's just a small one, and I'm going to show you up close. I actually got it maybe in too far. Let's keep this like this for a minute so you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay, take your string, and I like getting something that's bright so you can see it. All right, start your first one off by tying it in a double knot so it don't move on you, just like that. You want this to be, put it to where it's probably going to be. That's why I like these, because I'm pushing it up because you guys ain't going to have this. I should have set that better. But on mine, I can adjust these up to where I want them at. So let's just, you want that to be about center wheel. So get it up there. See where we're at. It's still going to be a little low. I might even tighten it too much. All right, we'll adjust that. There it goes. Let's start there. Okay, take your string. Yeah, it might be okay. Yeah. So this, and as you can see, this stand is not that tall. So we're going to take it, just make the string a little tight. And you can always adjust these later. Make it tight, not to where you're pulling your stands over, but where it's tight. Go around it a couple times. All right, let's go to the other side. Try to keep a little tension on it at all times. Now we're going over to the next one over here. Same thing. I'm going to tie it around right about the center of the wheel. You want to keep it always the center of the wheel. I only went around that one once. Okay, now we're back up here at the center. Keep it tight. Let's wrap it a couple times. That's going to be hard because I don't want to mess the string up. So I'm going to take mine around this a couple times so it don't unloosen on me, and set it in my little thing here. Hopefully that weight keeps it good. Yeah, it will. And then you can always pull these a little bit left to right. You get what I'm saying. Okay, now what we're going to do is I'm going to go around the whole car, and we're gonna bring these in. What you want this string to do, that still ain't up high enough here. Okay, now what you want to do is you want to keep them tight, and you want to take them in towards the tire. You don't want them touching the tire. Just take it in towards just a little bit away, because now what we're going to do on the back here, we're going to take it in. So this one I'm going to have to go in and back to keep my string tight from the other side. So you want to take this in, and you can see that the back is almost touching and the front's not, meaning we got to take that one in some more. But here's where it gets tricky. That string is a little high now. So now we want to take this in until it is square on that back tire and it's not touching this part of the tire on either one of these. Let's check this back again. This one's probably really nice. Let me go over here and do this one. And I'll go around and show you guys. I'm just trying to get it set. I'll go around and show you. I'm just kind of telling you what I'm doing. These raised white letters sometimes hurt you, so you got to try to get it. You may even have to jack the car up and spin your wheels some to get it away from them. This is falling pretty close to where it needs to maybe be. Okay, so let me show you what I got going on here. This is so far, and we're going to make a little adjustment right now. And I'll tell you why. All right, so you see how the gap between the front of this tire, the gap between the back of the tire, it's literally, look where it's at. So it's dang on touching there, okay? And we're right against one of them dumb letters almost. But we'll be okay, because I'll show you. We'll adjust to that. Now, you don't want this literally touching. You just want it close. Same with these. You want these just at the tire. Where we at? You want them just at the tire without touching. If you look, we are, you see it? It's like right almost against it. We're in a perfect spot. And that goes for everywhere. Same thing here. We want, that's just right where we want it at, guys. And this one can actually go in here, but we're already touching up here on the front tire, meaning our wheel is towed in a bunch. So here's what we're going to do. They're both towed in a bunch. If you look at them here compared to the jack's in the way, but they're both going in like that on both sides of the car, and this one's going this way in. So we need to bring them both in some. All right, let me put this back in here, and we're going to do an adjustment on this one. This is not real complicated, you guys. It's actually pretty simple, and if you just keep watching the video over and over. All right, so if you guys remember, I didn't tighten those sleeves up all the way. So what we're going to do is we're going to churn that thing until our wheel straightens out and it squares up with that string going back. So let's churn it. And this is where your tiles would come in really nice. Okay, we are pretty close there. Okay, we're pretty close to being heads up. Let's see where this one's at. Let's bring it out some. Okay, same with that. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go check and make sure that the string at the back of the car is the same way it was. I want it almost against that tire square without smashing into it, okay? Because here's what's going to happen. What we want now is, this is probably right where it needs to be at. Actually, that can go in just a touch. Just a touch. So what we'll do is we'll slide this in just a little bit towards that way. The whole stand, real easy. You can keep checking it 100 times. So don't, if you go a little bit too much, go back, check it again. Keep going back here, making sure you're not touching the front of this tire and the back is just right there. We can go a touch more. We're going to do one side at a time. We'll get them all squared up. I'm going so small, guys. And not only am I going in, but I'm also pulling on it back just to here to keep it tight. This is going to make sure we're squared up with the back really good. Okay, this is almost perfect, you guys. I ain't going to touch that. So now what we want to do is, let me go get the other side set, just to get it to where we're at over here. Okay, that one can go in too now that we have our wheels straightened up, because the back of the tire was stopping it from letting us go in more. I'm going to tighten it up a little bit. Wanting to move back. Perfect. Okay, so now what we can do is this, guys. Here's where we're going to start measuring. You guys still in picture frame here? Let's go over here. I don't want to bump anything. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to measure, and here's how I do it. You can do this with the millimeter, with whatever you want, because all you're going to be doing is subtracting. So let's see what that says. All right, so what you want to do is you want to put there's a little thing that comes out right here. Put that against the tire. Bring the other part in until it just touches this little spider right in my, against the tire. Bring the rest of the gauge in until it touches the string. Just touches it. You don't want to push it, just touch it right there. So we're at 7.98 millimeter. Check this one now. I'll quit moving it. And you want to do it right in the center of your tire. Don't go off to the back edge or anything. Put it right in the center of it, because that's where the biggest bulge is. wherever you measure on this side, that's where you better measure on this side because you'll get an incorrect reading. Bring it in. 6.80, and that was 7.98. Was that? Yeah, 7.9, 6.8. So we are, so that would be almost heads up. We're actually towed in just a hair, just a slight hair. I mean, I'm talking. So we're pretty much heads up. We adjusted it pretty good. Let's check this side. So we're almost heads up. Let's check this one. See what we have going on. And it doesn't matter what you measure first, guys. It's going to be, the measurement's going to be the same no matter what. Bring it till it touches. 6.47. This is why I said them letters ain't going to hurt, because we're going against the black part of the tire. 6.28, same thing. We're almost squared up here. So that would be 6.28, 6.47. So that one is, we're towed out just a hair. We're towed out just a hair. So, where's my phone at? Let's ask her. I don't know what I did with it. Hang on. Hey Google, what would the toe in or toe out setting be on a 72 Cutlass?
For a 1972 Oldsmobile Cutlass, the front total toe setting should be between 0.25 and 0.37 degrees of toe in. This typically translates to 1/16 to 1/8 toe in.
Okay guys, so what we'll do is, we'll do a 16th toe in on both sides. Okay, so that's very little, very little. Okay. So, and I think that one's almost close. Let's double check that side. I think it was almost close. I think it was towed into here. This one's towed out a touch. Let's double check it. Make sure that's 0. 6.6. I think this was 7.8. I'm just double checking here. I think we're right where we need to be at on this one. We are towed in exactly. We're right there on this one, guys. I'm not going to touch that. That is literally a 16th or a tiny bit more. So let's do this one. I think this one was towed out a little bit. 6.1. Actually, it's 6.3. Let me double check this. I think I'm hitting a different part of the tire. Trying to stay right in the middle of it. 6.3, right on the bulge. 6.7. So, yes, we are towed out a tiny bit. So let's take it in the hair. Now, if I can remember which way to go. I think it's back the other way. Let's see. Right there. Guys, you could do this on a Saturday or a Sunday. And to me, 5.3. This is worth it if I got a nice little street rod or even my daily driver. I do all my cars. My daily driver, 5.3, 7.1. That's probably a little more than a 16th. You can see the gap between your gauge. That's why I like using this. And kind of see that if it's a 16th or what it is. I'll show you what I mean by that. 666, 634. So let's do this again. 615, 650. If you take it back to the back, we are probably right where we need to be at, guys. The gap between the string and this edge looks like a 16th. I mean, like I said, this doesn't have to be super precise. We know we're close, you know what I mean? 16th and 16th is going to give us an 1/8. All right, so we're pretty much lined up. All we got to do is tighten that up. Now what I want to do now is real quick, before we say we're done, grab our tape. We're going to put it, I don't want to mess the string up. I'm going to jam it right inside that rim and measure. So I'm at the back of the lip on that wheel, and I'm going to measure to the front here. 111.5. Let me measure the other side. I just want to see if our wheels are square in the car. Now that our toe's set and the camber's set, from back here they look really good, you guys. Like nice and straight. That was 111.5. 111 and I mean a smidge past a half. So this car is pretty square as of right now. Okay, that's it, guys. That concludes. So you can come to the back of your car and kneel down and look. You can look at the camber. You can look at how straight the wheels are. It looks very good. I mean, if you want to eyeball it just to kind of trust yourself with it, it looks very good, you guys. It looks very good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tighten up the sleeves underneath, the tie rod sleeves, get this string off, get the car on the ground. We're going to go cruise this bad guy. We are lined up, and that's it. Didn't take much. And like I said, some cars you're going to be able to adjust you're going to be able to adjust your camber without putting shims in. They'll have an adjustment like on an arm with a kind of like a Heimsen. Some of them have, like in the back, there's going to be adjustment too on some of them, where you can set your wheels like that. But you always want to check your pretty much your camber and stuff first, because if we were to not do the camber and do what we just did and set the toe, okay, this toe set. Now once we set our camber correctly, it's going to change that toe. So always set the camber first, no matter what. And make sure that the wheel measures out good in the car square. Because if that would have just said, like, I'm not sure, but I think a 1/4 to a 1/2 inch isn't that bad of lead. If like say that wheel, like this was 111.5 here, and that was 111 3/4, let's just say. So that would have meant that that wheel was forward some, or this one was back a little. So it's kind of like this, okay? I'm not sure if that little bit of amount, a 1/4 of an inch, would make it pull or do something real bad that you're going to notice. You could always drive it and try it. If not, then you're going to have to deal with it. You're going to have to adjust your arm out and bring your, adjust that arm to where that's going to bring that wheel, make it set right with shims. So obviously we put an 1/8 inch of a shim in the front and the back. We would have probably had to put, you would have had to keep playing with it to keep your camber correct and to bring that wheel, where it's back some. And sometimes you could do that with, on the newer cars, I believe they have a lower adjustable arm in them, and that's on these old cars. That's really nice to add too, like adjustable arms and stuff, because you could square your rear end up to it like that. You could take a little bit out of the rear end and adjust it out with the rear end, so square it up like that with the front that way too. You know what I mean? I've done that, and it's done it, because that's how we used to set our lead in a race car. We'd set the front and then we'd adjust the back rear end. We'd either bring that wheel in or out a little bit, and that would make the car, so if we brought the right rear wheel in some, we'd always set our car to go turn left easy. So that would make the car drive and turn left easy for us. We'd put a bunch of positive camber on this side, on the driver's side, a bunch of negative camber on that side, and then toe it in about a 1/4, or I'm sorry, toe out about a 1/4, 1/8 to a 1/4, because toe out on them cars would make it churn like that. Toe in's not going to do that. So toe out would make it, all that help that car turn left easy, where you're not fighting it, you know what I mean? So we want that car to drive smooth and go right into that corner for us and turn left without having to fight it, you know what I mean? So doing all what I just told you helped it just go one, boom, and just brings you right into the churn, you know what I mean? So, all right, I'm gonna tighten those up, pull the string off, get my lug nuts back in these wheels, get it on the ground. We're gonna go drive it. All right, guys, we are driving. This thing, I just pulled it out. Hang on a second, let me get out. It's hard to do this one hand. There's the steering wheel. Nice and straight. No pulls, nothing. I mean, it's riding super nice, guys. Super nice. So far, I mean, it's really nice. And your roads are slanted. On the side that you're on, they're slanted. So this side's slanted down to the right, and when you're coming back the other way, it's slanted. They're what do they call that? They slope them, and they slope them for the water to run off and stuff. But yeah, this thing's doing great, real nice. I'm gonna cruise it for a little bit, you guys, just to see how all this lifter stuff is working, because I do believe that thing's got something stuck in one of the lifters, like whether it's dirt or engine debris where they put the engine together, something like that. I don't know, but because as you drive it more, it quiets down. So it makes me believe something's going on inside that lifter where it's not letting it stay. It's either that or it's a bad lifter. So I'm going to let him decide what he wants to do. If he wants to go ahead and swap them out now, we will, or cruise it for a little while. He ain't got to drive it yet. It's already July, going into August. So it's not that bad. It really ain't. I think it'll go away. So if not, go drive it. When you're done cruising it, we'll throw the set of lifters in it. Or he's got his old motor at his house. Maybe we could pull the the lifters and the rockers and stuff out of that one and put it in it, and I think it'll be fine. So, but the big noise that was banging underneath, it's gone. Our transmission leak's gone. I hope the valve cover leak's gone. I do believe on the valve cover leak, guys, it was where it didn't have a PCV valve in it and it kept just blowing the gaskets out. Because that day when we put the PCV valve in it, I didn't change that gasket yet, and the bad oil leak wasn't as bad no more as soon as the PCV valve was pulling, you know, doing its thing. So we'll keep an eye on that stuff. Running good, driving good. The air shocks ain't that bad. I forget what we had in them, 60, 65 pounds. They're riding pretty good. And I believe this front end will get smoother and smoother as he, you know, keeps driving it. It drives good. Much better than before, I'll tell you that. Oh, there's a chicken or a rooster. I don't know what that was. So yeah, I'm gonna cruise it around for a little bit. I'll see you guys back at the shop. All right, you guys, we're back at the shop. I went around and checked, made sure the valve covers weren't leaking. I cruised it pretty good. I went into the car wash, sprayed it off a little bit, drove it around, got on the highway, had it up to about 80 miles an hour. Everything is great. The noise is minimal. It's at times you don't hear it at all, then you'll stop and it'll come back a little. So I'm hoping whatever's going on with that lifter, maybe something stuck in it, it'll go away. If not, no biggie. I'm sure he can, you know, after this gets a little cool out, he can bring it back and we'll swap that stuff out. At least he can drive it now, and that big loud noise is gone from underneath. Whew, it's starting to warm up, guys. The gearbox has a little slop in it, but it's doable. Driving down the road, man, that thing is super nice. It's straight. The only thing you feel is, like I said, that little gearbox sloppiness, but it's not bad at all. I felt way worse. That's something else we can do this winter. Or when it cools off, pull the gearbox off. There's a place in Columbus, they're called Steering Gear. They'll rebuild it. Actually, they have them on the shelf because we used to race with these gearboxes, and they would have one on the shelf ready. So you just bring that one in, take it, and you know they give you the new one. But anyhow, all in all, the car's doing great. I'm going to call them up here soon and let them know that it's pretty much, let's go cruise it. Underneath, I raised it up. Transmission's not leaking. Valve covers so far, they're great. I believe, like I said, the PCV valve really helped that. I think that it was just blowing them out. Because I did notice there was a ton of oil whenever I would take the valve covers off before in the heads that would just come out. Like, so it must have been laying up there where it wasn't pulling whatever was going on there. But that's like down to a cool amount now. What else, guys? It turned out good. I hope you guys picked up. If you guys have any questions on the front end alignment stuff, it's pretty simple. Please feel free. Drop some comments down in there. If you guys have done it before, tell me how you guys do it. I'd be interested to know. Everybody, I'm sure, does it a little bit different. But I think with the calibers, the gauges that I showed you, it just does it the best. I mean, it's more precise. You know, instead of holding a tape, then you got to read the lines and everything. You know, it's those things are more better. Trust me. I've done them both ways, and I really like doing them with those. Plus, you can check your shims with it. You know, you're ready to check whatever you need to check. Man, that thing's throwing off. I'm even hotter. So yeah, any questions, please jot it down in the comments below. If you guys want to know about any of the tools I've showed you, where to get them or whatever, like this little thing here off Amazon, let me know. I'll try to remember. I'll put it down in the, I don't do that very much, but just because nobody ever says anything. I wish you guys would say something, man. I've been begging you guys to talk. It's the same couple guys, my buddies, that talk. Nobody else says a word. I don't know what's going on. But tell me something. Tell me I suck. I don't care what it is. Just say something to me. It does help the channel too. I'm not going to lie, but I want to still hear from you. But anyhow, I'll try to remember to put that stuff down in the description below. Just some of the tools. Any questions, please, guys. Like, share, comment, subscribe if you haven't. Go back and check out some of the other videos we have on the channel. It's growing. Like I said, guys, if you guys want to help me at all, this is what will help right here, what I just asked you to do for me. I'm not asking for no money. It's hard enough doing this with having, you know, to have to work and come and try to do this to put out a video every week to keep just to keep it going. It's really hard. It really is, guys. So this is what I want to do full time. And if you guys want to help me do that, please share it, like, share, comment, subscribe, all that. That helps me all. So thank you so much, guys. Any questions? Below. See you on the next one.